We are back. Welcome. Those in chat right now, if there is. I have no idea how this is going to go. Hang on a second. Let's get it up. We're back. We're finally here. It's only taken 9 games, but we are present and ready to go. It is the Nets and the Celtics, and this could go a number of ways, but I feel like it's going to go fairly pear-shaped very quickly. The Nets are 4-4. They have started the season pleasantly well in comparison to the expectations. When you put those two side by side, expectations versus reality, the reality has outweighed the expectations by an absolute shit ton. So the Nets, yep, they are at 4-4. We are starting with Claxton today, and I believe this is the first time this season that we're starting with Claxton, and Ben is coming off the bench. It feels like every single time Ben has played for us, he's always started, except maybe a very short stint where we were easing him back in, and that was pretty short-lived. So, here's an interesting stat on the Yes broadcast. 19 assists and 0 turnovers for Cam Johnson. He's scored 20 points in back-to-back games, the previous 2 games, and he's also the, I believe, only player in franchise history to have 0 turnovers, yet have 30 minutes or more logged in 5 straight games. So Cam Johnson's been a pleasant surprise, and he's getting that trade value up for sure. Which is great. Dorian Finney-Smith did much the same. It's 3 days ago now. It's been a long while since we've had a game. And that was a 106-104 win to Memphis. And a lot of people have labeled it the worst win you could possibly have in a tanking season because your veterans contributed to the win. Does boost their trade value, but they shouldn't be on the team if you want to tank, that is. But we've got a good coach. I'm loving what the coach has brought so far. And yeah, I mean, Geordie just looks like a sound coach. I mean, JV had a little honeymoon period, and the Nets looked like they were playing hard, but this feels like a little bit different because we were supposed to be shit. And it doesn't seem like, well, there's been a lot of mainstays from last season, but at the same time, like, I feel like the ceiling was much lower for the Nets going into this season. Schroeder, Finney-Smith, Johnson, Cam Thomas, Claxton, like, that's not really a needle mover at all. And I think the over was 19 and a half games, and we're already, well, a fifth of the way there, and we're not even an eighth of the way into the season, or we are an eighth or a ninth of a way into the season. Last game, we did see great contributions from Jalen Wilson off the bench. I think he's been a really underrated player for the Nets so far this season. Did jack up a lot of threes and missed basically all of them. But the minute he drove to the hoop, and we did do an analysis on this a few days ago, the minute he started driving into the paint, I feel like the game sort of changed a little bit because it seemed like we were actually capitalizing off those drives and kick outs. So that's been a real staple of the way the Nets have played this year. A lot of driving, a lot of kicking out, and just team basketball. I think that's why a lot of people talk about this season as very similar to the 2018-19 season, because that season it felt like everyone was on like an even hierarchy. It didn't, like, KD, Kyrie, Harden, that was pretty obvious who was going to get the ball most of the time, who was going to have the highest usage. But here, there's no real clear standout, and it always changes game by game. We've had performances where Schroeder's been the high man, Cam Thomas has led the way. Last game, it was Finney-Smith and Johnson, like, incredibly random. But, I'm not complaining because I think that's the philosophy you need to come in with, especially if you're going to, tank. You need to be playing team basketball because I'm not saying we're going to get Cooper Flag or whatever, but if in the hypothetical scenario we got Cooper Flag, you don't want him to walk in and think that, the whole franchise is on his shoulders. So I think it's a really good thing that Geordie's instilled a mindset that doesn't encourage egos to be heavily boosted. Everyone's remained in check early on in this season, which is a huge plus. If we win this, give Geordie Coach of the Year. Yeah, well, this is why I go into the game with very low expectations because, Geordie is good, but he's not that good yet. Amazingly enough, we are the 3 or 4 seed, equal 3rd seed. Boston are the 2 seed, but they're 3 wins ahead of us, which is pretty crazy. So, let's have a look. I just want to see what the performances were last year, because I feel like we did put up a good fight last year, but that said, we didn't win. We got swept on the season series. We lost 118-110 in a home game. That was on February earlier this year. I believe last year there was one game at the TD Garden we got belted. And I think that's the little scary part. Thank you for the welcome back message. I hope you like the new stream layout. I actually take great joy in doing the new layouts every season because, I don't know, it's just therapeutic. Chuck on some background music, just go to work for a couple hours and then Bob's your uncle. So, I actually am really happy with this one. I feel like we're packing in a lot more information, which is good. With the Sixers and Bucks being terrible, the East is really weak so far. I think that's going to even out in due time. Yeah, I just don't see it. Maintaining itself. I think, yeah, in a bit of time, it's going to equalize. I think the Bucks and Sixers will go back up the table as the wins pile on for some of these lesser lights. The Wizards, the Pistons, maybe the Bulls even. Orlando look really bad. And they're probably getting a bit of relief today because they're playing the Pelicans, who are, goodness me, that starting lineup is disgusting for the Pels with no CJ, no Zion, no DeJounte Murray, no Herb Jones. It's really looking dire down in Louisiana. They're starting a rookie, Brandon Boston Alvarado, who's been given the green light, and he's taken 6 shots already. And Franz Wagner's got 17, which is great for my fantasy team. But yeah, it looks like we're about to start this game, or we're pushing towards it. New layout's great. That is excellent news. We are verging on the start of this game. The first watch along of the year for me. I've been watching the games. I just haven't been streaming them because I've been A, a little bit lazy, and B, being busy. So we're about to kick this one off. You can see the lineups on the side. There's no Jaylen Brown for Boston. Of course, Porzingis is out till the new year. They've opted to go with Xavier Tillman to start this game. And the Nets, they do have Ben Simmons back. He won't play tomorrow on the second half of a back-to-back. Clowney is returning back from illness. And apart from that, it's pretty much stock standard. Still, Watford is out. Day'Ron Sharpe is still out. And I believe Derek Whitehead is playing with the G League squad today. So, yeah. But this is also the new stream layout. Hope I'm not too in your ear. But we're about to kick this one off. Between the Celtics and the Nets, I will look to read your chat messages every so often. But most of the time, I'm going to be all eyes on the game. Yeah, but Ben is coming off the bench. You can see the standings going into the day today. The Nets were equal third. So if they win today somehow, then, well, we close the gap on the 2 seed, which is pretty mental, actually. But here we go. First quarter kicking off. Just a little bit late. Nets Celtics, game 9. Nets 4-4, Celtics 7-2 going in. And we're about to get underway at the TD Garden, which looks pretty filled up crowd-wise. And we're off. Claxton wins the tip. We're underway. It'll be Schroeder taking it forward. And the handoff to Clax on the wing. Johnson. Bounce pass to Doe. Handoff to Cam Thomas, should I say. A lot of Cam action in this lineup. Schroeder down the middle. And he gets the flip to go. The Nets are on the board. 2-0. And that didn't take too long. So that was pretty easy, not going to lie. Looks like Derek White's going to have that assignment on Cam Thomas. Tatum picked up by Finney-Smith. Open man is Tillman. And he misses the 3. The board by Claxton. And he will hand it to Schroeder, who gets into the half court. Now Thomas got the mismatch. He'll take on Tillman. Has to pick up his dribble. Back out to Johnson at the 3-point line. Bounce pass to Clax at the elbow. Back to CJ. Step back 2. And he's got it. And we've got 2 buckets to open the first quarter. A minute or so into the game. And now White will give it to Holiday, top of the key. Looking for a pass. Faked it. Got through. Kick out to Tillman. Drive. Kick out. Horford. Wing 3 is short. Board by Johnson. So the Nets getting stops early, which I like the sound of and the look of. So Johnson's going to step back for 3 again. Here we go. We're on. 7-0 start for the Nets. Love that. And we get a steal. Thomas in transition. He's got Horford on him, which is a good mismatch. Although Horford stays with him very nicely. Laterally takes it in. Off the window for 2. 2 minutes in, and Boston are shook. The Nets have scored 9 unanswered in the first 2 minutes of the game. What a start. And it's a little bit of everybody. Johnson with a 2 and a 3. Thomas with a 2 off the glass. And Schroeder with the other 2 in similar fashion. Let me go to this. I just got to refresh. Is it going to load up? I need to get the box score, man. Come on, man. Where's the box score? There it is. I hope that's not too small. You should be able to see it. But this is our little box score layout as well. So we've got a nice little format here, actually. I think Thomas is going to get that steal to go with as well. Yep. And he's also got a dime, which is a great start for him. Let's update all that. So good start by the Nets, mate. Love this. I've seen enough. We're going to the playoffs. Fucking hell. This is... Well, I can't say I expected this. Well, we've got the coach of the year, so I think we could have had a little bit of hope going in. Well, you like this though. 9-0. Wow. I don't know what to tell you. We've just gotten the stops. We've forced them into 3s early on in this game, and they simply just haven't converted. Tatum really hasn't gotten a touch. So it's 0 of 2 for them, and we're 4 of 4. So really, it's not all that surprising. So good start by the Nets. I don't imagine this is going to be sustainable given Boston have dropped like 29 threes, was it, against the Knicks on opening night? But yeah, it's a very, very interesting sort of year for Boston as well. Like, they lost to the Warriors, I think, in their last meeting. So, you know, they are beatable, and we have beaten them in this stadium before. A couple seasons ago when we did that ridiculous 28-point comeback. Anyway, my goodness, it's so refreshing to see the Nets actually being asked on defense. Actually picking up the Celtics in the full court press. Here are Boston, and that's deflected. The Nets have got another steal. Schroeder, Johnson, corner, Finney-Smith 3, gets in! 12-0. We have not missed. Holiday is going to back down Schroeder, which is smart. He takes it into the paint. Fell for the pump fake. The shot was missed. Put back 2 is also off. The Nets get another board. Surely that was a foul. Schroeder's going to pull up for 3 and get partially blocked. He thought there was a whistle. Oh my God, they knocked it off Tatum. The Nets have the ball. Schroeder to the corner. Johnson 3. Oh. Go. Good boy. We're going to get a jump ball. Oh my goodness. The Nets have come out the gate with a 3-day break. Absolutely switched on. And I've got to stop the clock. Getting a bit ahead of myself here. So, this is not a typo. The Nets are up 12. And the Celtics have not scored in 3 minutes. Getting stops, fighting for loose balls. I mean, Boston are a little bit responsible for their own demise in the early going, but I mean, this is the worst position you want to be in when you have a lead of a dozen, because we got 45 minutes to play. 12 points ain't going to win you a game of basketball, so this is absolutely mental. I did not see this coming, and now we've got a jump ball between Derek White and Finney-Smith, which, to White's credit, he wins. And now White is going to hand it to Holiday on the left wing. He takes it inside on Schroeder. That's smart. And the Celtics, well, they're finally on the board. And they went with a similar play they did on the previous possession. It worked. This time, persistence will pay off at some point. Schroeder will give it to Thomas. On the outside, the high screen by Claxton. Screen set again. Thomas forced into the air. The kick out. Schroeder for 3 is off. And Horford's just going to let that one run out of bounds, and they will get into a set pretty quickly. And it's White being picked up by Thomas on the perimeter. Tatum will get it at the logo. Back to White. And a screen set by Tatum. Bounce pass. He will receive. The spin on Finney-Smith. The kick out to the corner for Tillman. Ball fake inside. Deflected by Schroeder. It's out of bounds. And we have 4.3 on the clock for the Celtics to shoot. 8:07 left in the game. But this is a very, very optimal start for the Nets. And quite unprecedented. And I'm loving it. This is why I enjoy watching Nets ball this year so far. White is going to have to shoot a 3. Quick trigger. It's off. Claxton taps it to himself. And he's going to give it to Thomas, who will get into a set. And we run that pick and roll screen action with Claxton. Thomas is fouled. He had Horford in the air, and it will be 2 free throws for CT. So last game, he took 17 shots and only had the 1 free throw. So credit to Memphis. They defended well. Their guards played really, really well in fighting over those screens and, well, forcing Thomas into difficult shots or passes. But in this game, well, it looks like we've exploited the bigs early, and we've been getting some open looks and some blow-bys. That shot looked, well, that free throw looked off the minute he let it go, and that first free throw of the game between either side is off. So 12-2. can become 13-2 with one extra make, and Thomas will convert. So 13-2, 7:52 to play in this opening quarter. The Nets have allowed 107 points in the last 4 games, and they're, well, doing well to hit that pace again, in the early going at least. Tatum takes it inside. Finney-Smith does well, and it's going to be our ball. Let's go. Tatum met a roadblock, and that should have been a fucking travel. That should have been a travel, mate. He just threw it to himself. But it doesn't matter. It went out of bounds, and the Nets will get into a set of their own. It's Thomas. Hands it to Claxton. Thomas will get it back. And now the switch. It's Horford picking Thomas up. They do another screen. Thomas nearly rolled his ankle and then lost the ball. They're going to fight for it again. And we've got another jump ball. Is that what it is? Thomas and Claxton dived on that loose ball. Tatum was definitely first to it, but Claxton met him pretty aggressively. So, mate, the Nets are not going to lie down. They ain't going to give you shit. And I don't know how it's Boston's ball. I mean, it was a little bit rash, that challenge. So Boston will actually get the ball. I'm not really sure how they adjudicated that, but Boston in 5 minutes have 2 points. That is just, I cannot believe it. Gotten some looks, haven't really made them. It's only going to be a matter of time before Tatum heats up. White pulls up for 2. It's good D by Thomas. And now he will bring it up himself, do a bit of his own work, convert defense into offense. A one-on-one with Tillman. He's going to shoot the 3 over the top and hit the shot. It don't matter. It don't matter. 16-2. We've hit 3 threes. It's been a mixture of everything. White's forced into another kick out. Tillman's the open man. It was an air ball. It was that bad of a miss. The kick out to Tatum. He's got Wilson guarding. It's good defense. And he's forced into a pass. He's going to get it back. He's going to drive in the kick out to Tillman again. He is just letting it fly. And he is... Oh my God. He's just gone straight donuts in this first quarter, Tillman. He's had like 5 looks. And he just keeps on firing. You know the Celtics are going to do that. But when they don't convert him, it becomes a bit of an issue. And that is the guy you want shooting the ball. 16-2 in half a quarter is just absolutely bonkers. But this has like a Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser cameo written all over it. Quetta is also into the game for Boston. So they're going a little bit deeper into their bench. But they do have a deep bench. And Ben Simmons is in. I forgot he existed. I was riding the highs of this early start. Holiday fumbled it off the inbounds, but he did well to maneuver the body and flip it up and in. So the only scorer for Boston in half a quarter is Jrue Holiday. He's got all 4 of their points. Ben Simmons is playing the point center role. Schroeder on the outside. Zaire Williams ready to fire, and that's off. He's cooled off from 3 in the last couple of games after a very good start. Tatum in the corner. That's not what you want. And the minute you allow that shot, he is knocking it down 9 times out of 10. And that was no exception. Schroeder will hand it to Wilson. And now, well, we've got a foul out front, and it's on Pritchard. So, 5:28 to play in this opening quarter. 16-7 Nets. And, well, we've done well to keep it out of Tatum's hands. I mean, that starting 5 put in a proper good shift. But it's really going to be this bench unit that needs to deliver. The Celtics have gone at 3 of 12 shooting. Good cut by J-Dub, and the layup's good. An equally good find by Ben Simmons. And that's one thing you probably can't remove from his skill set, his passing ability. And it's on show there. Holiday again gets inside, and he scores the 2. And we're going to have a free throw for Jrue. So they are just absolutely exploiting that matchup early on. It is Thomas with the foul, and I feel like every single one of those buckets that Jrue has scored, it's just been a back down on Cam Thomas in the post and a simple flip. So Holiday's got him in the weight room. Or actually, I don't know if he's got him in the weight room, but you know, the leg strength isn't looking too great by Cam Thomas. He's getting pushed under the basket way too easily. So they actually full court press, and it's put him at a severe disadvantage. Williams had it blocked, and the Celtics are going to push the pace here on the break. Tatum nearly lost the handle. Schroeder's guarding him here and doing a good job. Zaya Williams with the double, and it's going to be Nets ball. Well done, Z. And Tatum looks frustrated a little bit early on here because he probably hasn't faced this sort of defense. That's well done. The help defender. Tatum's dribble looked really dodgy the minute he got that ball. And so you could see a bit of vulnerability there. And now the Nets have it through Schroeder. He's going to pull up for two over Pritchard. High arcing shot, and he stares down the man. 20-10 with 4:40 to play. Tatum, switch, bounce pass, kick out. Hauser in the corner for three. And I swear to God, the minute you see those guys shoot the ball, you know if it's going in or not. It's just a pretty distinct trajectory, if that makes any form of sense. We're going to get a timeout through Jordi Fernandez, but he will be overly happy with this start. We've been able to quell their influence a fair deal, I would say. I'm pretty happy with how things have gone. If you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back tomorrow for Nets Cavs. But overall, this start, I like it. I like it. It's good. We've got another box score check. We love the good box score check. Let me see what Cam Thomas has done here. 6 points, a rebound, a dime, and a steal. So not a bad start from him. Definitely an improvement on what he has contributed in previous meetings in recent times. For Boston, Jrue's got 7 points, and he's been the high man for them. And look, I think that, well, you're looking at the likes of Sam Hauser and Pritchard playing pretty big parts in this performance today because they don't go much deeper than who they've already played, with a couple of absences. So the Nets can really exploit this, I think, as we have done so far in this game. So 20-13 start. Let me know your thoughts on what you've made of this opening period, because I'm pretty content. I mean, we held them to 2 points in half a quarter. It's only the last couple minutes they've started to beef it up. And I mean, you just know what you're going to get from Boston, right? They're just going to shoot a ton of threes, and there's just no two ways about it. They've already taken 7. I mean, we've taken the same amount. We've just shot it at a really high efficiency and looked after the ball. We've forced Boston into 4 turnovers, which is exactly what you need. Exactly what you've got to see. Yeah. So overall, good shit. Loving that. Okay. We aren't supposed to play this well. I actually, it's actually a common topic for Nets discourse at the moment to be like, imagine what would happen if we had Jordi Fernandez when KD, Kyrie, and Harden were on the team. Would you keep their egos in check, or would you piss them off that much that Jordi would get fired in the first season? Similar to a Kenny Atkinson vibe almost. It's one of the bigger what ifs. And we've only seen 9 games of Jordi basketball, but very good signs. And we're running, a lineup of Simmons, Williams, Johnson, and Wilson. Pretty sure I didn't repeat any player. 5 to shoot. Johnson, good move. It's off. Williams with the put back dunk. I nearly didn't know how to speak. Nearly butchered the call. But that was a good move by Keon Johnson. I'm going to have to be very clear with how I refer to these guys. Keon Johnson is Keon Johnson. Cam Johnson is CJ. We've got a foul, and it remains here. That is just BS. How is that a foul? Z's looking like he got a fresh trim. That's such a good move by Keon Johnson. Bit stiff to not score himself, but he'll get the assist for that. Not really. Might as well be. So, 9-point lead. And, well, we should have gotten a stop there, but it's going to be Celtic ball. They're going to recycle the possession. Oh, no. Pritchard off the inbounds. You can't lose him like that. That is way too easy. It's down to 6. Ben to the corner for Wilson. Now Keon Johnson takes it in. Wilson's got an open look, and that hits the top of the rim. It ricocheted off there a couple of times. The Celtics secure. So Pritchard again. That's off. Board by Wilson. Ben down the middle. Z right through the lane. He scores for 2. He's been good. He's got a steal. He's scored 3 buckets. He's been a disruptor. You love to see it. 24-16 early on. We've got, well, 3 minutes to play here in this first period. Tatum's got it on the wing. He's going to drive in on Zaire. The kick out to Pritchard. It's another open look, but it hits back iron. The board for the Nets. It's Johnson. Simmons. Bounce pass to Johnson. He'll take it through the lane. Bend the cut. He scores for 2. Let's go. The Nets are playing team basketball. Team basketball always wins, bro. Always wins. Tatum, the drive. He's going to body into Williams. Miss the 2. Get that. Good boy. Simmons. He's going to take it inside on Quetta. Lost the ball. He needs help. There's a few cutters, but he passes it back out to Johnson. We'll reset again. Johnson drives, and he lost the ball. Tatum stripped it away from him, but it goes out of bounds on the baseline. Jordan Walsh is in the game for the Celtics, so they're looking even deeper into their bench for a bit of assistance on a night where they're somewhat shorthanded. Such good team basketball, and that's Johnson's bread and butter in recent games, getting dimes. Z's going to inbound it on the baseline. He gets it straight to Johnson, who nearly had the ball get away from him. Pocket pass to Simmons. The hook shot is good. 28-16. The lead is back up to a dozen after Boston got it down to 6. We're back where we started almost. White's going to drive. Good drive and kick. Tatum's open again. And I think he was fouled. That looked highly distorted, that jump shot, but he wasn't nearly deterred by it. Simmons, you've got Pritchard on you. Take it in. Drive. Cross. Gets inside. Kick out to Williams, but he's well held by Hauser. Good cut by Wilson. Does a little spin cycle and then got caught under the basket. The Celtics with the board. Quick pace here. Tatum in the corner again. He's hit it again. He's just looking for that corner. He's actually spamming the 3 ball. They've taken like, I reckon, 12 or 13 in this opening period. It's actually through the roof. The Nets need to silence the Boston crowd here. Johnson out to Ben. What is bro doing? Just shoot the ball, Ben. What? Why did they call it that late? I definitely saw the double dribble, but they didn't call it until like 3 seconds after. The Nets have just got to deny that pass to Tatum. He's going to dip to the corner again. That left corner, he's hit about 3 threes from there. White. The screen, Tatum's going to get it here. Is he feeling it? Nice spin. Ben inside, and he's going to get called for a foul. 31 seconds remaining here in this opening period, and the Nets are up 6, but Tatum has the chance to get this one down to 4. This is actually good because Boston are known to come out the gate with authority. they just showed a little graphic. They averaged 35 points a game in the opening quarter, which is the best in the NBA. And they average a net rating of +7, which is the best in the NBA. So the fact we're up 5 on them right now is, well, 4 with that free throw make. That's a testament to our hard work in the opening quarter. But Ben's getting doubled. Get it across. Oh my God. Turnover. Get it. Oh wow, they just passed it straight to us. Simmons, Wilson. Yeah, just hold it. Hold for one, man. The Celtics absolutely butchered that. Ben's going to get it here with 6. He's got it. What are you doing, bruz? Drive it. They had a foul to give. So we've got 4 seconds remaining, 4.5 to be exact. And the Celtics are going to have to defend for a possession here. Let's not do anything stupid, shall we? And let's not allow Pritchard to get one up before the buzzer in the backcourt, because odds are he makes it. Simmons, gonna get it in through Wilson. 1-2. Wilson, you got to get one up. Oh my God. Johnson was not ready to shoot that, and that was a bit of a grenade, as they would call it, but that is the opening quarter, and the Nets are up by 4. I don't think that does our work justice. Let me get these scores updated here, and then we will venture to the box score, actually. And it's a good opening quarter from the Nets. I mean, you've got 6 from Thomas, you got 5 from Johnson, 4 from Simmons, 4 from Z, 4 from Schroeder, 3 from Doe. I mean, nearly everyone who's gotten on the court has scored. And the assist numbers, we've got 7, which I feel like, I don't think that's actually doing us justice. I feel like we've been moving the ball really well, and we're shooting the ball quite well. 12 of 21. The Celtics are at 8 of 21. But the real spot where they just get the difference is shooting threes. They've taken 13 threes already, man. 13 threes. They've hit 5. So, amazingly enough, I feel like they started really poorly from 3, and it's probably off the back of Tillman not knowing how to shoot. He missed all 3 3-pointers, and Horford missed 1. The minute that they got it into Tatum's hands, well, he hasn't missed. And I just sense that that's going to be pretty difficult for us to manage today. So, 28-24, pretty good start. Happy with that. We're coached very well so far this year. Bloody oath. Bloody oath. I couldn't be any more Aussie when I say that. Bloody oath. But, yeah. This indicates to me something very simple, and that's buy-in. You know for a fact that the players have bought into what Geordie is preaching when they're playing the way they are. Even Ben Simmons looks a little bit freer. I don't know if that's just a mentality thing, like on his behalf, or if that's a mentality thing off the back of what Geordie's been able to do. So, overall, I feel like we're seeing a bit more of an improved version of Ben. He still looks very timid getting to the basket, but he's just got to put up a few more 2s, man. He's got to take more than just the gimmies. He's got to try create. Anyway, the second quarter is underway. And, well, Tatum's on the bench. So it's going to be interesting to see where they get their offense from. And it's an open 3 from Pritchard. Well opened up. Oh, my. The soft bounce off the rim. I mean, that's so annoying, because that didn't even look like it was going in. It looked well short off the release. Simmons. Bro, take it in, mate. Quetta, who the hell is this guy? It's going to be Nets ball, but, mate, Pritchard was right on Simmons' hammer. It's going to be Nets ball with 7 to shoot, and it didn't even seem like we ever got into a set there. So, Zaire Williams is going to trigger in with Both Johnsons on the court, Simmons and Wilson also there. Simmons will receive it. Take it in, bro. Take it in. Johnson's going to have to put one up. One to shoot. Layup is good. And it's a blocking foul. And CJ, he also looks like a bit of a cleaner player, especially in recent games. I feel like in the opening few games, he was forcing the three way too often. But even last game, he took 7 2-point shots, which last year you couldn't say a lot of. And today, well, he's put up a 3, but he's taken more 2s than 3s, I'm pretty sure. Johnson makes the free throw, so it's back up to 4. This is where you get the separation. I don't know how many non-Tatum minutes we're going to have, but you got to exploit these non-Tatum minutes, whatever the quantity is. White to Pritchard. They're going to try feed Quetta. That's too easy. The kick out to Walsh, and I think he stood on the sideline, or maybe it was a 3-second call on Quetta. It's going to be Nets ball, though. You got a lot of inexperienced players on the court here for Boston. There's not too much leadership on the court. Derek White is the only clear man that probably is half decent in that regard. Wilson, good drive, but he's going to have to roll it back out to the opposite wing. Johnson, step back 3. That is tough. It's off. The result really correlated with the difficulty of that shot. Pritchard tries to lose Johnson, but he stays with. That's a tough 3, and it's a rim grazer by Derek White. Simmons has got it. He's scoping the court. He gives it to Johnson, who is ready to fire, and he is off. Rebound. Boston. Pritchard. Drive in. Kick out to White. The screen is set, and that's an open 3. We just went under the screen. The long rebound by Ben, though, after another Derek White miss. He's going to drive it in. Go, Ben! Hook shot. It's off, but Wilson was definitely getting grabbed under the basket, and it hindered his ability to get that rebound. And so the Nets will get it on the side, but we've really got to capitalize. I don't know what percentage Keon Johnson shoots from 3 over the course of his career, but I wouldn't imagine he's the guy you necessarily want to shoot the ball. They're looking for Johnson, but they give it to Williams instead, who takes it inside and scores off the glass again. He looks pretty imposing when he gets inside. And now he's pressing Derek White. He's manning him up because he's, rightfully the most dangerous player on the court. And then Johnson, that's Keon, was able to read the little backdoor cut by White. Oh, wow. Derek White's napping. Ben brings it forward pretty quickly. Wilson ready to fire. That's an air ball. Johnson on the weak side nearly snuck up behind Pritchard as he tried to collect that rebound. But this is, it's fair to say that things have crashed back down to earth on the offensive side for the Nets. But we're getting some looks here. We're getting some good looks. We're getting the stops we need. White takes it in and uses the body well to shield himself from that Zaire Williams contest. Wilson will drive in, get rid of White, and, Quetta did well to roll across as the help defender and get the block, but White committed the foul first, and we're getting free throws. And that's what Jalen Wilson did really well last game. Collects the ball immediately whilst he's running at the basket. He already identifies where he wants to go, and he doesn't even have the ball yet. And that gives him that extra step. And those defenders are a bit rash when they get placed in those sort of situations. They commit a foul or they get blown past. So, pretty good stint there by Ben. All things considered, it looks like he's going to remain on the court. I thought he was donezo. And it's Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder checking back in, so I imagine that's going to help us a little bit offensively. Second free throw is good by Wilson, so it's back up to 6. So we've done well to keep him at bay. Multiple times they've trimmed the lead, but we've gone on little runs to just reinforce that lead a little bit again. Hauser rolls around and he's ready to fire. He's squared himself up. It looked like it was going in, but it's off. And a good contest there by Schroeder, who read the play well. It's now Thomas on the outside. The switch. Simmons at the elbow, back out to Thomas, who thought about a three. Maneuvers through, the step back two. It's good! Over Pritchard. It's like he's not even there. And yes, I'm insulting his height. And then, what? What? What are you talking about? That is just a fucking ridiculous foul. I don't know if Geordie told him to commit that foul because Finney-Smith was waiting at the scorer's table, but... What? What? Oh my... Bro. Referees, man, just gotta put their egos away. And I maintain this stance across the league for any player. Let them talk their shit. Let them talk their shit, unless it becomes fucking personal. I mean, we won't know for sure what Z was hurling at the refs, whether that was abuse or something else. It's 37-30 though. That is an offensive foul. That makes a lot of sense now. Getting a little bit of added context, the reason Z committed that foul was because he just got completely thrust off the ball, off the inbounds, and they didn't call anything. Horford's back in. Tatum is not yet. Pass out to Hauser. Feeds Horford in the post. He's got Ben on him, and that's pretty textbook. And I wouldn't be surprised if Geordie calls a timeout in the next possession or two, just to, well, reset things a little bit here. Schroeder is guarded by Pritchard. Thomas is going to come collect. No, he's not. Simmons will set the high screen, and Schroeder, I thought, was fouled, but he was forced into a pass. He flings it out to Wilson, and he's well held as well. Thomas has no room to put one up, but he's got to anyway. Oh! How has he hit that? What the fuck? How has he hit that? The voice cracks are out in full force as well, because that was just... I don't even know what to say. That is taking the utter piss. Hauser pulls up for two in the mid-range, and that's pretty easy. Some things just make you watch in awe, and Cam Thomas making difficult shots is one of those things. Thomas is going to get it here again. Is he cooking? He's got an open three. He knew he missed it because he followed up on his own miss, but he wasn't able to get there in time. The Celtics in transition. Hauser quick trigger. It's off. Simmons with the board. He gets it ahead. Open man is Thomas. Layup is good for two. And that's great identification by Ben Bloody Simmons. I don't know what his middle name is. But that was a great feed. Got it ahead to Cam Thomas, who was... Well, he never got back on defense. And that's the damage that comes with taking quick threes. You know? You're pushing the pace forward, but... You know, you can always get beaten up the other end. Because you commit so fully. So, the Nets are up 8. And we've done well in these non-Tatum minutes. Miracle Tree, good to see you again in the chat. We really need to trade DFS and CJ if we actually want to tank. We don't need a tank. We're going to fucking win the chip. This is ridiculous. Why are we winning? Is the question I've asked every game this season when we compete. Let's have a look at this box score. Cam Thomas is taking the piss. I don't even know how to describe the shot he made about 30 seconds ago, but it's basically an easy way to put it is there was a man in his grill and he just managed to somehow fling one over the top from 3 and make it. It looked so forced. It looked so unnatural, yet he just made it work. I'll tell you what, Ben Simmons in his 11 minute stint, 5 assists, 4 points, 3 boards. That is a great stint off the bench. Even though I think he's a -6. Fantasy owners are loving him. Cam Johnson's got 8, and I'm liking his shot selection, 3 of 5, equally efficient as the previous couple of games, and Zaire Williams much the same. Tatum's got 11 for Boston, but he hasn't been on the court in about 6.5 minutes. Hauser and Pritchard have done all right. They've been pretty efficient. They've hit a couple threes between them. Derek White's been no good, and neither has Horford. So really, it's just the Holiday and Tatum show at the moment. And the Nets have gotten contributions everywhere. And that's without Claxton even getting into the game. So I'm loving this. Loving it. Loving it. How many turnovers for Boston? It's 7-3. So we're winning in that department. We look like the more physical team. It looks like we've rocked up. So 28-24 was the score at quarter time. Claxton has had a lengthy breather on the bench, and well, rightfully so, because you got to ride the wave of momentum with Ben Simmons. He had 4 points, 3 boards, 5 assists in 11 minutes, and he's still on the court. So they're giving him extended run because they're rewarding him, but we haven't seen Claxton Ben minutes too often this year. Oh, what is that? Just, it's a Finney Smith foul, but bro, mate, Boston are literally just ride the 3 or die. They've had 18 threes in this game already. They've taken 11 twos. That is mental. Claxton's going to double. Well, we need the rollover. Horford's 3 did a full around the world on the rim and rimmed out. So the Nets can get this lead back up to over 10. Depending on shot selection, it's Schroeder on the perimeter. Bounce pass to Thomas. Back to Schroeder. One-on-one with White. He's going to drive baseline. Walks a tightrope. The kick out to Thomas. Catch and shoot 3 is long. The rebound by Horford. That was pretty good defense by Boston. We never really got into anything. Hauser's ready to fire, and that's off. Ben is right in his face. I thought Claxton may have stood on the sideline while he was getting that rebound, so maybe a bit lucky. Schroeder's going to let it fly, and he misses badly as well, so the tank commander is well and truly alive. Holiday gets ahead and scores for 2, and it's back down to half a dozen. So that's almost the Ben Simmons formula there. Just get it ahead to the man who's leaking out to the basket after the opposing team's miss. Claxton, the drive. What is this spacing, bro? Ben, shoot a 2 for fuck's sake. He scores the layup. Thank you. Mate, I just don't understand why Ben makes a ton of 2s in shoot-around or practice. He's got that open 2 there every single time. Tatum's open for 3. Good ball fake. It's wide open. And it's, well, mate, it's basically a default make at that point. 44-39 the score. It's Schroeder. Claxton wants it in the post. He gets doubled. We've got no spacing. Try to lob it up to Simmons, maybe. Good bounce passes. He was falling out of bounds, and then Finney Smith traveled. So the tank is out in full force with this lineup. And just as Geordie sees the results, he's going to take Ben Simmons off for Cam Johnson. So we revert back to our starting 5 here. It's a good defensive lineup. I tell you what, Simmons with Claxton out there and Finney Smith, it's pretty difficult to break through. White on the outside. Oh, that one just went straight through Tatum's hands. Very good balance there by Finney Smith. Came over as the help defender, forced the pass, and then was right on Tatum's back immediately. So it's like you could anticipate what he was doing long before it happened, and it forced the turnover. So that's turnover number 8 for Boston. The Nets only have 4 in the first half, and that's a huge reason as to why they lead this game. Schroeder is going to weave through, and I don't know what that was. Maybe a sorry attempt at a layup. Good pass to Hauser. One more for Horford, who would cut right down the middle and no net. Assume responsibility on the defensive end. So back down to 3. Thomas is going to weave through again. Layup. He was absolutely hacked on that shot. And, well, he's not going to get that whistle. Let's be real. I don't think the foul was there. So the Nets have got to close out this half well, because they deserve a lead with the way they've been playing. Just got to get a few buckets here, though. Thomas is open in the mid-range, and that's always going to be money. It was a good screen by Johnson off the ball, and Thomas used the screen as protection. Tatum, well guarded by Finney-Smith. From the moment he got it in the backcourt. That is... What the fuck was that? Oh my... What? No. Stop it. Stop it. There was a foul on the floor after that miss by Tatum. Yeah, that's clearly a foul on the rebound. Not even close to the shot. That was like... That foul was in 2004. It was that far back. So 3:17 to play here. Boston are going to get it on the side. That's a little bit annoying because, well, we forced the miss on Tatum, and Tatum doesn't miss too many threes, does he? White's going to get it off the inbound. It's a great driving kick. Holiday, it's a practice shot, and he missed it. And the Nets are going to push the pace, but Celtic defenders are back. Schroeder's going to run it under the rim, get it back out to Thomas on the left wing. He takes it inside. He shoots the runner, and he's fouled by White. And it's going to be 2 shots for CT, and it's great assertion by the number 24. So we're going to get free throws here. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We're back here tomorrow for another stream between the Nets and the Cavaliers, who, as you can see, are 9-0. So it would be a very Nets thing to do to win that game. Or at least put up a fight like we are against Boston on their home deck. So Derek White has picked up 3 fouls, and CT's done a good job of, you know, forcing Derek White backwards and into positions where he's going to commit the foul. So he goes to the bench and Hauser's in. Pritchard is also in. Thomas makes both. And with 3 minutes to play, it's back up over half a dozen. If we can just get a few more stops, I feel very good about this halftime lead. Good D by Schroeder, who is absolutely harassing Pritchard there. But now he's somehow got an open 3. And, mate, if he's like 5 feet or more behind the 3-point line, you know it's going in. Anywhere closer than that, and it's not a guarantee. We've only hit 4 threes in the game, which is sort of mental. Thomas, the step back 2. He's hit another one, and this time it's over Horford. 2.5 to play in the second. Good knock away by Finney-Smith. He got into the lane, and now Johnson, the pull-up 3 is off, but Finney-Smith with the board. The big-time plays. Johnson moves through. Finney-Smith the drive. The kick out to Schroeder. It's open for 3. God, you gotta make those. Claxton fights on the glass. We got another crack. Thomas! Oh my God. You love the hustle. It is so annoying that they just went to the other end and made that. They took a whole last 5 seconds to make a 2, and we attempted about 4 3-pointers and none of them went in. So, look, you love the reaction on the glass. Claxton just snatching the ball away from Horford. Finney-Smith got the steal, or got the knockaway that led to the steal, and then on the other end gets the offensive rebound, and also dished it out to Schroeder. So he did a lot of good things on that one play. And I feel like we'll see a lot of that this year. You know, the effort's not necessarily going to correlate with the outcome, you know? Like, we may do all the work to get an open shot, but the conversion may be a little bit lackluster. So, not long left in this second quarter, and so I will not look at the box score until the main break. Amy, welcome to the chat. Boston, last 2 games, their offense has been off. They're usually the best offensive team in the NBA. Well, no Jaylen Brown, so that always is a huge difference maker. And then you mix that in with the loss of Porzingis. So, I mean, they haven't looked really that phased by the loss of Porzingis this year. So, are we a much better team with Geordie or without Mikal? Isn't that the same thing? I don't know. But, like, I feel like we're more enhanced with Geordie. If we had Mikal Bridges, a lot of people are slating Bridges, but I would love to see if Mikal is a defensive myth whilst being managed by Geordie. That's my real question here, because I don't know. It feels like, well, for example, Cam Thomas, there was a stat which, like, there was a defensive stat where Thomas was allowing the least points per possession. I'm not sure in what scenario, but that's unheard of for Cam Thomas. Cam Johnson has been a pretty improved defender. Like, he was a myth last year, but this year he's looked pretty solid defensively. Sometimes he'll pick up their best man. And I sort of, like, relate it to, like, Zaire Williams has been really good defensively. I'd love to see Mikal's in a similar sort of mold, similar type of player. I'd be really interested to see what Mikal would have done when, like, in this Geordie philosophy system. It'd be interesting. It's one of those other what ifs. I don't think Mikal's like an absolute game changer, but, like, I think he'd be much less of a defensive myth than what he was last year, if that makes sense. The Nets get it past the half-court line, which did look like a little bit of an issue for a few seconds there. Johnson to Cam Thomas. 8 to shoot. Thomas is going to go baseline. Bit of hesitation. He takes it to the other side of the court, and the turnaround J is off. And Holiday's going to get the board. Pass to Tatum. Schroeder got discarded, and Claxton, get that shit out of there. Piss off. Mate, you have an open man. It's a 5-on-4. Oh my God, we just allowed Tatum to get back. That was an open look. And then Tatum presses Schroeder, nearly had him in the backcourt. And what the actual hell? Schroeder's playing like a bit of a... He is playing like a tank commander in this game. Wait, what? Tatum just got teed up. I have no idea why. He was talking a bit of smack to the refs. And yet again, I'll maintain the fact that that should not have been a tee. But he probably should have stopped yapping. And, I mean, I say the same with Z before. He was walking off and talking smack. So, Tatum with a really good sequence there. After he got his shot blocked, he recovered not awfully quickly to make it even on the defensive end. And then, well, he deflected it into the backcourt, and then Schroeder just threw it off out of bounds off himself. Pritchard? How was he flipped that in? What? How is that a foul? That is the biggest bit of rubbish I've ever seen. That's complete cap. But where have they gotten the foul from? I don't even... Was Johnson even leaning over? Oh, okay, you know what? Like, it's fucking soft, but I can exactly see why they call that. So, 60 seconds to play. Please, for the love of God, don't go into the break trailing. So stiff. Pritchard makes the free throw. Whoops. It's 49-51. And we're into the final few moments. Schroeder. Head down. Drive. Had his layup deflected, it looked like. I think that was just a bad miss. Pritchard to Tatum on the outside. High screen by Horford, the switch. Tatum Good D by Thomas. Step back three, hits back iron, and a board by Finney-Smith. That is great defense by CT. I thought Tatum was going to lose him, but Thomas followed him every step of the way. There's an 8-second difference between shot and game. Johnson has had the ball for nearly the entire possession. 4 to shoot. They give it to Thomas now. This is a typical grenade possession. Oh, wow. Thomas just missed the bunny, and it's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Nets ball. That was an absolute sitter for Cam Thomas. Mate, that two-pointer was staring at him. He got right by the defender. It was an open two from about 6 feet away, and he fell short on it. But the Nets will have a chance. Another chance. Claxton, Thomas, another contested three. It's off. And, well, you're not helping yourself there with that sort of shot quality. But that is the half, and the Nets are up 2. And I tell you what, Look, it's been a bit hard going at stages, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that first half. We're up 2, and I think all things considered, to hold Boston to 49 points, that's a great defensive performance, and we've been incredibly disruptive. I would like to see Thomas be a little bit more efficient in this second half that's upcoming, because there's been some really good looks for him, and he's probably not put the Celtics to the sword, but I think the same can be said for a couple of the Boston players as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that first half. 25 points to 23. We didn't let it get away from us. So, good start. Good half. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back tomorrow for Nets Cavaliers. Box score check. This is going to be a bit intriguing, isn't it? Let me just get the thing up so I can see a little bit clearer. Cam Thomas has scored 20, but I tell you what, he could have maybe had 25 if he just made a couple more easy looks. Like there was an open 3 a couple minutes ago, and there was a there was that 2-pointer at the end of the second quarter, which he absolutely should have nailed. He's done a lot of nothing else, but he's just been a bucket. 20 points in the game, and he is a +3 for the Nets. So that's where the leads come from. Dennis Schroeder has been a little bit of a tank commander today. He's 2 of 8. He's missed every 3. He's had 3 steals, which has been a plus, but he has not even facilitated. He's got 4 points and 3 steals and nothing else. Claxton hasn't scored. He's only put up the 1 shot. And then off the bench, Ben Simmons, in 13 minutes, 6 points, 5 boards, 5 dimes. I mean, that's on track for a triple-double if you do the simple math, but I think he's been highly efficient, even though it says he's a -9. And that's actually a team worst, which is pretty funny. But I think he's contributed pretty well for most of the game. Jalen Wilson hasn't been his prolific self. Zaire Williams, I've really liked his disruptive efforts. And even Finney-Smith. The box score will not say anything about the way Dorian Finney-Smith has played today. He's played really, really well guarding Tatum, who is, well, he had 14 points in the first half, but only 3 in the second quarter. He's hit 4 threes, but the minute he takes it into the paint, he's found it pretty difficult to score the ball. That Claxton denial denied him the opportunity to get his first 2-point make of the game. Peyton Pritchard, I swear to God, I could not tell you he scored 14 points because, I mean, on 7 shots, it doesn't really feel like he's had that much of the ball, but he's been a difference maker off the bench for them. They really needed that because Derek White's been pretty non-existent on the offensive end. So overall, I think we've done a pretty good job defending them. I don't expect Pritchard to score another 14, but I did say when he entered the game for the first time tonight, this is a nailed-on Pritchard or Hauser masterclass. Because every single time we play them, I swear to God, one of them catches fire. So overall, pretty solid first half. If we look at the shooting splits, the Nets are 20 of 46. They're 4 of 19 from 3. There's been a lot of open threes there. When you look at who's taken them, 6 to Thomas, 4 to Schroeder, 2 to Wilson, 2 to Johnson. And Thomas has been the only guy to make, well, threes out of that group. So he's done it all in that first half. 5 free throws as well. So he accounts for more than half of our free throw total. And then you look at Boston, they've jacked up 25 threes. They've made 8, so that's probably keeping him in this game. And then, well, twos. They've taken, way less twos than they have threes, but we've done a good job of keeping them off the line. And also 9 turnovers have been committed by Boston compared to our 5, which is, well, that's huge as well, because that's allowing us to break out in transition. Maybe haven't put them to the sword on those transition plays because, you know, those threes aren't falling, but I think we've done a pretty good job so far. Let's have a look at the chat. Let's see what you lot are saying. Let's see. Thanks for putting in the time. No stress, Bev. Are you going to make a Carlton doco for 2024? This is, I've actually been heavily conflicted about this because I feel like I want to make one, but I don't have much time to decide on it, actually. So if it is, it's going to be on a far lesser scale than last year, because last year was just a stupid amount of work. And I just want to take a bit of a step back from doing the channel a little bit, because it just, if you do too much, you get burnt out very quickly, is what I found out. So yeah, I think that's probably the key for me, just managing it so I can put my best foot forward with what I do. That's the way this is going to work. And I don't know if a doco is a part of that. Maybe if we win a flag, but I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, I guess. What has been... I want you all, the people in chat, to answer this question. What do you think has been the most surprising thing for you this year so far for the Nets? Because, well, I think the 4-4 start in itself is pretty surprising. But within the record, what do you think is the most surprising thing for you? Because I tell you what, like, quite a few players have surprised me. Geordie as a coach has surprised me. There's quite a few things. I think the main one for me, though, is probably... I just think, like, the way we're playing, the team basketball we're playing it's so refreshing. Because last year it just seemed a lot like very disorderly, very not methodical. That voice crack was disgusting. Not very methodical. And, you know, like the years before that, it was just like pass KD the ball, pass Kyrie the ball. If it's not KD, it's Kyrie. If it's not Kyrie, it's KD. And then you have James Harden in there for a very short stint. So, like, a lot of the time it was hero ball. I have not seen this team play with, a Brooklyn Nets team play with this much camaraderie in a long time, since that 2018-19 season. That is where the comparisons come from, I think, and the vibes are good. And they're a gritty side. So, and even the energy is through the roof. Like, these guys, not really... I mean, maybe aside from Dennis, I feel like Dennis Schroeder's got a bit of ego, especially asking for a ridiculous contract or betting on himself all those years ago. But I don't think really any of these Nets have egos, which makes it so easy to root for, makes them so easy to root for, and makes them so likable. I think that's the key thing for me. But let me know in the chat, what are your takeaways from the season so far? Because, yeah, I think it's been a huge positive. Huge positive. Also, let me know about this new layout we've got going. I'll actually show you the pre-game one as well. for those who rocked up a little bit after that layout was on screen. That's the pre-game layout as well. So you can see what happened last game in terms of box scores, quotes from last game, who won, who lost, and the lineups. They're all there. So, mate, we've got the pre-game sorted. We've got the box scores sorted. We've got the stream sorted, mate. You're not going to find this anywhere else. So, don't take it for granted, guys. Don't take it for granted. Alrighty. Second half is, I don't know if it's on the horizon, but it's got to be somewhere around. Around the grounds is going to be a bit of an interesting watch. I feel like. I think there's some cool games going on at the moment. I'll just get that third quarter thing started. Let's see who's been doing bits. New Orleans are hanging in there. India hanging in there. They're in a bit of a tussle with Charlotte at the moment. Brandon Miller's got 23. That's a good showing. Hawks are losing to Detroit. I really can't get a gauge on Detroit. I don't know how good they are or how shit they are. It feels like they're in a bit of a just random spot like Atlanta are. Houston are losing to OKC. OKC are pretty obviously, well, I think they're the best team in the West. Their defense is pretty nuts. Yeah. Love the new look. That's what we love to hear. Forget the draft. Let's keep this team together for 5 or 6 years. Well, I think that's easier said than done. I don't think players that are here for 5 or I don't think there's going to be too many players on this roster that are going to be here for 5 or 6 years. Maybe Cam Thomas, Nic Claxton's on a 4-year deal. So it really depends what he does in the next 4 years, or if he's shit for 2 or doesn't live up to expectations for 2 and then they just offload him. That could be something that happens. But it, like, in a very short sample, and of course, coaches, it's very much a revolving door with coaching, in a lot of sports, really. But in a very short glimpse, Jordi Fernandez looks like a great hire. And I feel like he's the kind of guy you can build your team around. Sort of similar to what the Thunder have done with, like, Daigneault. And who's the other one? Joe Mazzulla, even. So these sort of young and up-and-coming coaches. Feel like, yeah, that's the sort of coach you want. And it's really good to see he's holding his players accountable, yet at the same time he's protecting them in a way. Like, he believes in them. There was a lot of rhetoric around whether JV liked Cam Thomas or not, and I feel like in some situations it didn't make sense. But now that the expectations are fully off, I'm just looking to see Schroeder shooting threes in this shoot-around. He's knocked one down. Let's see if he makes them. Brick. Where's Ben shooting shots? At the free throw line, of course he is. Claxton shooting at the elbow. He's never going to use that. Yeah, but I think that's the one mainstay, and then all the others, it's very open-ended. Cam Thomas is a restricted free agent at the end of the year. Zaire Williams, I feel like Zaire Williams could be a very good long-term piece. Didn't really deliver in Memphis, but I feel like he could be a nice little handy player. He doesn't do a lot wrong. Or at least at the Nets, he hasn't done a lot wrong. I know at Memphis, he just wasn't doing enough, I think. And well, that's ultimately why they decided to offload him. At that point, he was like, he was just surplus to requirements and he was a bit of a waste of a roster spot. I mean, you go from a lottery pick to being a waste of a roster spot. That's crazy. And that's the kind of player. We did a video. Some of you have probably seen it. Just looking at Zaire's opening block of the year. It's a typical Sean Marks signing. And that was the title of the video. So anyway, some food for thought. That's a tongue twister as well. Second half is about to kick off, and it is a 2-point lead for the Nets. They have not trailed this whole game, which is sort of baffling. And look, second half, I expect this game to get away from the Nets because I just feel like I feel like Horford's going to heat up. Yeah, I feel like Horford's going to heat up. Holiday's probably going to get a bit more involved. Pritchard and Tatum, I just feel like they're going to go off. Tatum's probably a nailed on 30 and Pritchard's probably a nailed on 30. It's going to be interesting to see who they start with because Tillman was dog shit in the first 5 or 6 minutes. That's why they trailed, because he was jacking up threes and just not making any looks. So it looks like Quetta is going to start. And rumor had it that he was going to start probably a couple hours before the game, but then I was a bit surprised when they started Tillman. So Tillman's been relegated to maybe not even the bench. I don't even know if he's going to take to the court in this second half, but we're underway. And it's Holiday getting the ball in the post. Tatum, nice little wraparound screen, but he was short on the 2, and that's got to go our way. Thank you. Give me that ball. And it's going to be Nets vying for the first 2-pointer of this here second half. We've got 24 minutes to see if the Nets can do the incredibly unlikely and win another game of basketball against a really good opposition. Thomas takes it in. He's doubled. Finney-Smith relocates to the corner. He's going to drive it in and put up the 2, but he was blocked by Quetta. We've got 3 to shoot. Finney-Smith followed up his own miss, but he wasn't able to score the 2 off glass. And now Holiday in the corner will take it inside. The kick out of Horford. They leave him alone, and he misses the 3. And the board lands with Johnson. A nice little flick behind the back to Claxton as he was falling out of bounds. And now Claxton is going to wait for reinforcement. Johnson open 3, and that is good in the corner. It was a great move by Clax, the handoff and screen. And Johnson, well, spot-up shooter's going to love that. So, first bucket of the second half. The way of the Nets, Holiday misses another 3. The board by Claxton. They keep on firing those 3s. If they can't make 3s in the second half, there's only one way this game is going. Thomas on the outside, picked up by Quetta. Is he going to drive or is he going to shoot a 3? He's going to do neither. He's going to pass it off, and Schroeder will bounce past it to Johnson from the logo. Oh, it's off. That was a little bit rogue. That was an absolute heat check of a shot. White's going to drive on Schroeder, hangs in the air, and gets it to go down. So back down to 3. Schroeder on the outside. Just attack Derek White. Johnson was open, but the pass was a little bit off. Schroeder relocates after the pass by Johnson. Takes it inside. Good bit of hesitation. He had an open look. And he didn't realize. And then he's going to shoot a contested 2 and miss. Johnson bats it clear. Claxton with the board. Johnson on the outside. The right wing is well held by Holiday, who cuts off all outlets. Claxton protects and blew the layup. What are you doing? Gee, Clax has been crap. What the hell? Schroeder's just decked it off the ball. Horford also went down, and the cleaners are out in full force. Let's have a look at what happened here. Mate, what the hell? That's an offensive foul. He's just barged into him, mate. What the hell is that? White takes it in. Oh my God. They flipped that one up and in, and we're almost all square. We're almost back where we started. About an hour, just a little bit over an hour ago, It's 54-53. White has a chance to convert the end one here. Johnson with the foul. White had him on the hip. That is so soft, though. I don't know what you want the fucking defender to do there. Like, nothing. They cannot do anything. They might as well just not be there if that's the foul you're calling. So, this is the first tie we've had since 0-0. Let's see if the Nets can score here. They've had some good looks here to start the second half, but probably the shot quality's been a little bit dog shit. Thomas, that's a shocking shot, and he still made it! Move through after Horford fell for the pump fake. 56-54. White scores another 2, and he is starting to get those points ticking over. Schroeder goes baseline and scores the 2, the blow by on Tatum. And I think Dennis has got to focus on that, and I think the rest will come to him. Because that's like his patented play, I think. White on the wing is blitzed. Tatum's open for 3. We have to roll over and do well. Tatum drives. He's short on the little floater. Schroeder had to save it, and he just passed it straight to Horford, and it's a wide open 3. That's so stiff, and Schroeder's down. And he's walking. I don't know what happened there. That's so stiff because a bit of hustle by us. Oh my God. Bit of hustle by us resulted in a 3 for them, but then Schroeder just responds right back and said, well, that was a load of BS. He was out of the play about 5 seconds earlier. White for 3, that's off. So those 3s are very inconsistent with Boston today. 61-59, the Nets can get it back out to a 2-possession game. Thomas inside, pull up 2, doesn't get the roll, rebound Horford. He's got to get out of those mid-range habits. Holiday's open for 3. That's also off. Claxton does well to chase it up. And, well, Boston apparently did better because it's going to be their ball. Claxton knocked it out of bounds. We're going to get an extra point. The Nets are going to get an extra point because Thomas's 2, which was just ridiculous, actually was called a 3. Tatum can tie, and he does. 62 apiece. So Schroeder's going to drive again. Look for the cutter. It's Johnson, and the layup's good. And that off-ball movement by CJ is brilliant. Much improved from last season. That is what is that? He's just... Oh my fucking God. That's got to be our ball. Mate, Schroeder's just been absolutely killed off the ball by that screen. And the referee, I don't know where you're looking, mate, but go to Specsavers. Get a set of glasses. I'm going ultimate fanboy here with that insult. Let's have a look. Well, maybe, you know what? It actually probably was a legal screen, but this is the problem with being just a midget. In basketball terms. We've got a timeout as well with 6:50 to play here in this third quarter. It's been neck and neck again. Every response or every score by Boston is met with a Nets response, which is a positive. Showing resilience. I like it. Cam Thomas has got 23, only tacking on 3 more points from his halftime total. CJ's been a net plus. He's actually, well, he's not a team high. Claxton's a team high in the plus minus. But he hasn't scored. Interestingly, the 2 players with the best plus minus for the Nets have scored 3 points between them. Well, most of the points have come from, Thomas, Johnson, Schroeder scored 9. He started to get things going a little bit more. He was 2 of 8 at the break, and he's already scored 2 buckets on 3 attempts. So, yeah. Tatum is he's just an absolute 3-point spammer. He has not done anything inside the 3-point line. Derek White's the inverse of that. He's made all his buckets from inside the 3-point line. Same with Holiday. They just haven't been able to buy a 3. And they're 10 of 32 total. We are 7 of 23. But we've actually hit 3 of our 4 3-point tries in this third quarter, when we were 4 of 19 at the break. So you consider that a win. But that is the situation for the Nets at the moment. We've done all right. Not too bad. Alrighty. Oh my god. The Celtics are such lucky bastards, bro. It would have been our ball. It would have been our ball out of bounds. Like, because it was off the Celtics, but they've called a foul on the floor. What is that? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was an over the back, but no, he's grabbed him on the arm. So, yeah, that's... I thought it was the first part on the box out, and I was about to throw hands. So, 64-62, third quarter. Hauser will trigger in. And the Celtics still have Tatum on the floor. I'm interested to see how many non-Tatum minutes we have here in this... well, second half, really. Pritchard is going to get a lot of minutes with Tatum, I imagine. Tatum's now guarded by Wilson. Claxton on the bench. Tatum takes it in. Step back 2. That's tough. And it's off. And a rebound for Zaire Williams. It's Schroeder now with the ball. High screen by Williams. Simmons up top. We'll give it back to Dennis, who will drive it in. Gets rid of Hauser. And the turnaround J is brilliant. That was so clean. Those mid-range Schroeder 2s, just lovely to watch when they're going down. Simmons tried to commit on the steal. He didn't get it. And, well, we're very lucky that they missed the 3 because it was a wide open look. And by wide open, I mean in a paddock. Thomas for 3. It's good. The Nets have reinforced that lead yet again. It's back up to 7. And they do what the Celtics couldn't. 7-0 run for the Nets. And those 3-pointers are starting to go down here in this third quarter. They've made 4. Pass to Hauser, who's going to drive it in. Back out to Tatum. Good D by Williams. He is right in his grill, and he forces another miss. Thomas will push the pace, and then get blitzed, and then turn the ball over. And now it's Tatum. What? That was good defense by Wilson and Simmons. Simmons denied the shot from really having a chance. He blocked the shit out of it, but I think Wilson beforehand may have made some phantom type contact. Mate, if Cam Thomas didn't turn that ball over, we could have been looking at a double figures lead. Tatum makes the first free throw instead. So 69-63. 5.5 to play here in this third quarter. Nets have done well. Second free throw for Tatum is good. It's back down to 5. It's just those little 5-point swings which sort of kill you. And we haven't turned the ball over too much today, which is a positive. Anyway, Schroeder's got it here. Ben up top. Drive it, bro. The lane is so open, man. Schroeder's going to do that. and put one up with the right hand and miss it. Ben bats it out, but straight to Tatum, and it's a 2-on-2. The break is on, and he scores the 2 off the window. And that's really smart play, because Thomas didn't really stand a chance, giving up a ton of size. And in transition, that's always a no-go. Simmons, 1-2 with Schroeder. Takes it in. Good cut by Wilson. Reverse is good. You love to see that. Making shit happen. It just adds another layer to the offense when you've got cutters all over the joint. Pritchard, the kick out to Tatum. One more for Horford. That is open. And he airballed the crap out of that. My goodness. Simmons. Schroeder on the wing. Screen by Wilson. White stays with the man, though. Simmons hands it back to Schroeder. Looking for the bounce pass, and he had absolutely nothing on it. A turnover again. Tatum takes it in, and another foul, and it'll be 2 more for Tatum. We've got to lay off these turnovers because it feels like there's maybe been 3 or 4 in the last 2 minutes. So 71-66. Nets are up, but Celtics with 2 free throws to potentially cut this back down to a 2-possession game. Or 1-possession game, should I say. What is going on with Tyrese Halliburton this year, man? It's in my fantasy team. I picked him with my first pick, and he's gone and dropped 4 points against Charlotte in 3 quarters. That's a fireable offense, that. So Thomas is going to the bench. So let's hope we well, I don't know about our offense without Cam Thomas and Schroeder on the floor. We've got Keon Johnson at the point, and then a pretty undefinable 2-guard. Simmons is on the court with Wilson and Johnson squared. Oh my god, another turnover and another dunk. I mean, what are you doing, lads? We're going to call a timeout. Yeah. Because the amount of times it's just a very predictable pass to the top of the key. And the worst part is that's the deepest player we have. So if you turn the ball over, it's a 1v1. You don't have any layer of support behind that. So we're getting punished a little bit. We got the lead back up to 7, but we've given away some cheapies. And it's back down to 1. So it's going to be this real back and forth type thing, I think, for the rest of the game. So in this quarter, 20 points to 21. Yep. Definitely been more free-flowing, though, because it looks like both teams could be pushing 30 in the quarter. Tyrese has taken over JJ's podcast. His focus has changed. Yeah. Yeah, he probably should have thought twice about what he was doing in the offseason and maybe gotten back to work on his game. Maybe added another layer of dimension to his game, because he just seems to love to shoot a 3, and that's about it. Let me see, actually. What is his shooting splits today? Because this is a really important bit of information. Looks like they're going to lose, though, the Pacers. They've been dog shit. Okay, Halliburton's put up 11 shots and made 2. That is fireable. 9 dimes, but Tyrese ain't getting shit from me. He has been trash. Brandon Miller's been good. LaMelo shot 24 shots. That is ridiculous. Anyway, back to the game that actually matters here. 71-70 the scoreline. With 3:53 to play, Boston have sort of clawed their way back into this after a ridiculous start. They were down 16-2 after 6 minutes. That is ridiculous. And yet they only trailed the first quarter by 4. So they should consider themselves very, very lucky that they didn't find themselves in even more dire straits. We went on a 12-0 run to start the game, and according to the Yes Network broadcast, that is the longest game-opening run versus Boston in 18 years. 2006. A full childhood's worth. 18 years, and believe it or not, that run was 18-0 that year. So, there you go. Now, let's see what the Nets have done out of the timeout here. Feel like, yeah, this is definitely a CJ drawn-up play. Knocked away by Johnson. Extra feed for Ben, and of course he fumbled it. The tank commander is out in full force, lads. If you want to lose, to his credit, he played a good first half, but he has been a bit dog shit here in the second half. Open 3 for Pritchard. I'm pretty sure that was a foul. Zaya's closeout looked a bit dodgy. Johnson is open for 3. Extra pass to the other Johnson. Johnson squared. Johnson and Johnson. We've got another tray, and it's back up to 4. So the Nets have 9 threes made. Boston have made 10, but they've had 11 more shots. Oh, wow. They just blew the alley-oop jam, and the Nets can get these points back up. Ben, take it in. Oh, my God, he scored for 2. I thought he'd blown it. He had Derek White on him, and I thought he was going to fling it out to the corner for 3, which is his trademark move. But instead, it's back up to half a dozen, and now Tatum guarded by Johnson at the logo. The screen is set up top, and now the switch. But now we double. What was that blitz? What was that blitz? I have no idea what we were thinking with that. I mean, doubled Tatum. Johnson just left... who was it? Queta? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you get the idea. You get the vision. But because of that blitz by CJ, just leaving his man, Zaya had to roll across and commit the foul under the basket. So, bit of a bewildering move. I don't know if we were trying to gamble for the steal. But the Celtics miss a free throw. And I feel like, well, if you were gonna foul anyone on the court, this is the guy you want to foul. I forgot they don't have Luke Cornett. That makes a lot of sense as to why their center rotation is a bit cooked. And he always kills us as well, because we don't have the size to match, ever. Ben on the outside, Nets up 5 with the opportunity for more. Wilson, the kick out to Williams. It's a wide open look. Oh, that looks so good. But we reset because Wilson on the glass was a threat, and we have another crack. Good look by Zaire, though. I thought that was in. He's gone cold from 3, though. There's been a lot of good looks, though. It'll fall eventually. Tatum just knocked it out of bounds off the inbounds, but we're going to have to go again with 1 second off the clock. And we lob it into Ben. Looking for a handoff. It's going to be Johnson. That's Cam Johnson. Waited for the defender to fly by, and he missed it. It was a good look, though. And we're missing a few opportunities to get this lead buffed up. White back out to Pritchard up top. Good D by Johnson. Pritchard got... Oh, wow. Pritchard was walking a tightrope, and the pass was rogue. And it goes out off Hauser. And so the Nets getting stops late here in this third quarter to compensate for all those turnovers we had about 2 to 3 minutes ago. Ben will give it to CJ. The screen set, the 3, the pull-up, and it's off. I thought I heard a whistle, but I was just hearing shit. And the Celtics, with 90 seconds left, can get this back to a 1-possession game. And they'll go through Tatum. Pump fake. White, the 3 off the catch is good. And, well, I think that's his first 3-point make of the game. They're shooting at a sub 30% clip right now. 2-point game. Looking for a pass. Ben. Loopy pass to Johnson. Johnson nearly lost the ball. He had to pick up his dribble. We got 6 to shoot. Johnson is going to try Cook on Pritchard. He does. And he blew the floater. We've got 1 minute to play. The Celtics can take the lead here. And I'll tell you what, they've had a pretty subpar third quarter, but so have we. White's going to slow the tempo down. 9 to shoot. Tatum, good roll. It's an open 2-point jumper, and it's good. And the game is tied, and that's a great execution of a 2-for-1. 9-second difference between shot and game. So Ben has Pritchard on him. Oh, wow, what a spin! What a feed! Benjamin! Oh my goodness. The pirouette through 2 defenders and then the one-handed fling to Williams, who had cut baseline, wide open 2. White now is going to bounce pass. It's a dodgy pass. Tatum somehow got one up and was short on the 3. It's 3-quarter time. The Nets have led at every change. 78-76. Ben behind the back once. The spin. The pass. Ooh. That was delicious, Ben. Serving up a whole meal with that pass. Alrighty. 3-quarter time is here. The Nets did not outscore the Celtics. I think both teams scored 27 in that quarter, actually. But my goodness. We've got a box office last quarter ahead of us, it feels like. If we look at the box score, I don't really know what the key is to winning this game. I do know one thing for sure, though. If we can stop Boston from shooting threes, we should be, well, I think we'll be set to go. Cam Thomas is 26, and he's shooting above 50% from the field and 3, which is always a huge plus. Cam Johnson scored 16 and been highly efficient. Ben, I mean, he's done some things. He's done some good things. He's done some bad things. He turned the ball over 3 times, which isn't ideal. And we've had quite a few turnovers from the guards today. But look, the minute we can get Keon Johnson off, for one of Schroeder or Cam Thomas, I think we'll cook a little bit more. Ziaire Williams, great minutes in 16 minutes. He's been solid. And, well, Claxton and Finney-Smith, defensively, they've been pretty solid, but offensively, I mean, it's been a bit, well, they've been black holes, basically. The Nets are shooting sub 50% from the field and 3, but, you know, it's been one of those grit and grind type games almost, it feels like. Boston have made 4 shots less, taking 4 less shots, but they've taken 11 more threes and they've made only 2 more. So their efficiency is out the window. The free throws, it's been a pretty low free throw sort of game tonight. Tatum has scored 27 points. He scored 13 in the quarter. So he's obviously the key. If you can stop him, you stop Boston. And outside of him, Pritchard and Holiday, or him, Pritchard and White really beefed up his scoring in that third quarter. Jrue didn't really score. Yeah, I think we're going to be... We've got a good chance of winning this. That is the crazy part. And I didn't... You know what? I had an inkling. That this team was just going to, you know, it's going to be a bit cheeky about the way they approach this game. Ben takes it inside. Oh my God, we had an open CJ. We passed it to the wrong Johnson. And there's a travel involved. Keon has got to get taken off. He has been dog shit. CJ was wide open, fam. That's so frustrating. And it looks like the way Jordi Fernandez was pointing, Finney-Smith could be a like-for-like swap. Or not really like-for-like, but he could come on for Keon Johnson in a couple of minutes. Holiday on the outside. No Tatum here. How long are they going to let this run for? They're going to play through Holiday. Stops, pulls up for 2. And Rainbow J is down. And it is 78 all. Alrighty. Let's see if they can get a lead. Johnson can't make. Wilson the board. Puts one up and scores for 2. I mean, that was a disgusting matchup under the basket for Boston. They had Pritchard on Wilson. Wilson, he hustles on the offensive glass. So we were well placed there. Holiday, high screen set, and we've got a foul off the ball, and it's I think it's a screen sort of thing. Johnson is just, bro, he's foul prone. He is bad shot prone. He's having a bit of a stinker, but they're letting things run. They're gonna try to give Cam Thomas that, that little bit of relief, bit of a breather. Good skip pass, but Johnson read it and he knocked it right into the Nets bench. And if that wasn't connected on, it was a wide open Jordan Walsh 3. But instead, they're going to have to reset again with 6 to shoot. Get it into Holiday. That's who they'll play through. They drive it in. Extra pass. Keta with the push shot is good. And that's killer because, well, we let them play the full 24. And, well, it was a wide open shot. It was pretty easy for that late in the clock. Cam Johnson to Ben. Wilson is going to body his way into the paint. The kick out to Williams, who drives it in, goes vertical, missed it, then got a rebound, then missed and then got another board and got fouled. So we love that from Z. And he's verging on double-double numbers here. So missed the shot. You know what? He actually threw it up. It didn't hit the basket. And he got his own ball. So it actually should have been a travel. So we actually got the benefit of the doubt here. That should not have happened. That was a bit of a lucky bit of fortune going the Nets' way. The Nets are up 1. So 81-80. One more free throw here for Z. If he makes this, he's got 10. Misses. Board by Z. It's off. The rebound by Johnson. And the layup is good. +1. Let's go. And it doesn't matter what talent you have on the court. If you just have more hustle than the opposition, you will win games of basketball. And that's Zaire again. That's all Z. That's all Z. So, Johnson at the free throw line for the first time today. It seemed like that's the actual first thing that he did that actually contributed. Keon Johnson. So, the Nets running a full bench unit right now. Pritchard, full court pressed by Zaire. High screen by Keita. This is just an open look for Pritchard. Step back 3 is off. Wilson contested. The shot was off and Simmons has got the board. He's going to take it up himself. Hand off to Johnson. I really don't like this two-man game. Johnson, Simmons. What is that? Williams, the handoff to CJ now. 7 to shoot. Good cut by Wilson. Puts one up. It's a wild attempt and good defense by Hauser. Holiday's just open for 3. Hauser's open in the corner for 3. And that's off as well. They got to get that board and it's Z who sweeps it up. He's going to shoot a 3. He's feeling it. It's off. And the board is going to go. It's going to go Boston's way. We've had a lot of good looks, man. I just don't know about a Zaire pull-up 3. 9 minutes to play. It is a 4-point game. Pritchard is guarded by Johnson on the left wing. The switch. Hauser. Another screen set. Walsh corner tray. That looks online. It's off though. Good rebound by Johnson. He batted it to Simmons and now CJ. He sweeps across to the right side and now Simmons guarded by Walsh. Take it inside, Ben. Take it in. He does. And then he kicks it out. And there was a take foul. Not a take foul. Just a foul. It doesn't really matter what foul it was. And with 8:37 to play, Nets will have the ball with 14 to shoot. There's so many opportunities here with Tatum on the bench to just beef this score up. Ben's athleticism has just gone out the door. When you look at his highlight tape from years back, that's an easy blow by on Jordan Walsh. Excuse me. 8:37 to play. Thomas is in. Simmons handoff to Wilson. It's an open tray. God, that's a bad miss. Wilson just can't hit a barn door in the last couple of games from 3. Holiday, one-on-one with Thomas. Takes it inside. Shoots the push shot. That's too easy. They're going to absolutely cook on Thomas here. They got to give CT as much assistance as possible with those defensive sets. Simmons looking for another handoff. They're playing through Simmons. Extended minutes here. Drive by Wilson. Layup is off. He has not gotten that angle. And Simmons is going to commit a foul pretty irrationally. So Wilson, I assume, is going to go to the bench. Nope, Wilson is staying on. Johnson goes off. Schroeder's back in. So here is Holiday. Again, he's got Thomas on him. Good D, CT! Well done. Knocked it out of Holiday's hands, and then it went off. Holiday, out of bounds. It's Nets ball. Team winning plays. Very, very not Broadway, but, you know, it works. Simmons, take it in, Ben. Spin move, step back 2 is off. Z nearly got the board, and there's a foul on this end. It's going to be Nets ball. The next foul Boston commit will have the Nets in the bonus. That's massive. So 7:29 to play here in this fourth. The Nets have led basically every step of the way. Boston's lead has been only as large as 1. Thomas tries to lose Holiday, but oh my God. Wilson had an open look, but Thomas drew 2 defenders away from, or dragged 2 defenders with him. The Celtics now can tie or take the lead. White deep 3. That's off. Good board by Schroeder. And he's just going to slow things down, I imagine. He's got Hauser guarding him, so nail this down as a drive. Gets one up and gets it to go. It's back up to 4. And it looks like we're going to get a foul. 6:51 to play. We didn't get the separation we desired with Tatum on the bench, but you love that. You love that. Love that little play there. Ben has scored more points than rebounds or assists. It's close to that. Zaya was a big addition. If you haven't seen my video on him, I advise. Both teams kind of cold. It's very inconsistent, these 2 teams shooting the ball. I don't even know if it feels like it's going to be a very similar outcome. I feel like the way we're positioned right now, 100 points wins you the game. Because it looks like it's going to be a bit of a slog down the stretch. Cam Thomas is going to be pretty key in getting us to that total. He has not scored in this quarter. I don't even think he's put up a shot. They're really doing a good job of denying him the ball right now, which means players like Schroeder are going to have pretty big roles to play down the stretch here. He has scored 4 of 6, or gone 4 of 6 in this second half, Schroeder, as opposed to his 2 of 8 shooting in the first half. Ben has got 8, 7, and 7, and they've given him license. He has played 25 minutes. Wilson's played 24. Claxton's only played the 17 and Finney-Smith only the 19, which is very odd. It doesn't look like we're going to see any player, well, barring maybe Johnson, Like, it doesn't look like anyone's going to play more than 31 minutes, 32 minutes, which, you know what? I think it's a really smart move by Geordie, because you see that we're going to play second half of a back-to-back tomorrow. So you want to give these guys, or you want to rejuvenate these guys or preserve their energy as much as possible for tomorrow. If you know, in case you didn't know, Ben Simmons is not playing tomorrow. So that is why I think they've given him proper good run here and given Clax an extended break. Makes a lot of sense. So that's where I think you can make sense of these minute decisions. Zaire's been great, 9 points to go with the 10 rebounds, and a few of those have been offensive and hugely imperative to the position the Nets are currently in. We have 7 minutes to play, Nets fam, Nets world. And I tell you what, it is going to be one heck of a win if we can get the W against Boston. Tatum, guarded by Williams. I imagine he's going to play much of the closing stretch here. Hauser for 3. That's looking good, but it's off. Good board by Z. And with those long arms, you are not even getting close to that ball if you're a Celtics player. Simmons, Thomas, Fens, turnaround 2 is good. 6-point lead. And we've got 6 minutes to play. Holiday. Horford's wide open. What are you doing, Ben? What the fuck, man? Ben was just in the middle of the lane, guarding no one. He just left Horford in about 7 feet of space. Maybe even more than that. Ben's now got White on him. Is he going to take him on? Nope. Think anyone could have answered that question. Schroeder is blocked by White, who swooped in out of nowhere. And now Tatum to Horford. Back out to Holiday. One more for Tatum. Extra pass. Another extra pass. Hauser. Practice shot. It's off. And Zaire Williams with another rebound. And Geordie will call a timeout with 5:30. Hauser cannot. I mean, honestly, I think Hauser could be mistaken for the guy that tried to shoot Trump. Because, mate, his aim is just... it is bad. It's bad. It's bad. Ivan, welcome to the stream, bud. Let's win the game. Screw the tank. This is the thing, right? So, this is my mentality this year. My mentality is this. I want us to compete in every single bloody game we play. If we lose this, I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be disappointed, but I'm not going to be mad because, you know, you're probably going to see a bit less of an animated me this year because expectations are low. I don't really know what I'm rooting for. I don't know if I want a winner or a loss. But, you know, yeah. If we're in this position, I want us to win. I don't want us to throw. Like, yeah. This is... If we play like this in almost every game we play, I'll be happy with it. The only games we've really been dog shit, I mean, Orlando, we went at them for maybe a half, 3/4. And the Pistons, we just went cold in the second half. We scored 35 points. But outside of that, we've been really sound in every game we've played. And against really good opposition, we have not had an easy run to start. Memphis twice, Milwaukee, Denver, Boston. It's been a good run. We've got the Cavs tomorrow. We've got the Knicks twice next week. Yeah, there's a lot of toughies in there. The only one that's probably easy in the next, 5 to 10 games is the Pels. And that's only because they've got really not many available. Yeah. Right now, though, we focus on the now. 88-85. the Nets have led it every change, and they started the game on a 16-2 run, a 12-0 run. The Celtics got back into the game. We've done well to force Boston misses. There's been a lot of open looks, but I feel like we've gotten the ball into the hands of the shooters that you want to be shooting the ball. That being said, they have had a lot of looks that they really should be making, and they would make on a good day. Here we go, though. The Nets get into a set. Let's see what we've drawn up out the break. Claxton is back in. I don't know how long it's been since he was on the court. He hands it off to Schroeder. One-on-one with Tatum. Tries to lose him. Shoots a contested two. It's not the shot. Finney-Smith knocked it away. Tatum got ahead. That's so fucking cheap. And it's 88-87. We've got to read that. Because the minute we miss, Tatum is off to the races. We're in the final 5 minutes. 88-87. Crowd upstanding. Thomas drives it in. Layup is off. How did he miss? That was an open two. Tatum gonna drive on Claxton. The kick out to Horford. It's open and it is off. But the board goes straight to Celtics. The Celtics. Holiday. Tatum. Guarded by Claxton and now the switch. They'll like that. The roll by Holiday. The layup is good and the Celtics have the lead. Is this where they don't look back? The first lead of the game. I swear they led by 1 at some point. Schroeder to Doe and back to Schroeder. We're not looking too expansive with our sets at the moment. Schroeder drives it in. Blow by and he's blown a layup again. Oh, the tank is on again, baby. White out to Tatum. To the corner for Holiday. The three is off. The board by Claxton. We're still in this. We are in the final 4 minutes. Schroeder. Pass to Finney-Smith. He did not fire the three off. Schroeder drives. Finney-Smith, he's only taken 1 shot. He's now taken 2. It's off. And the board by the Celtics. What a grind of a game. 89-88. And we've only got 3.5 to play. Tatum up top. Switch. It's Thomas guarding Tatum. He's been pretty good defensively today. Schroeder comes over to help. Hauser the three. Hand in the face. It's off. The board by Claxton. They are leaving us in this contest. We've blown a number of layups at the rim, so it's going to be interesting to see the mentality here. Schroeder shoots a three. It's good! Let's go! 3 minutes. 2-point lead. Tatum at the logo. The switch again. This time Schroeder is on him. And now Thomas is on him. Tatum, no look. Holiday, block! Get out! Get out! Claxton sends it back to Brooklyn. 2:30 to play. Come on. Schroeder to Thomas. It's an ISO. He's got White guarding him. Jab step. Drive. He's got to look for a pass. Claxton, we got 2 to shoot. It's Schroeder. It's off. The board by Tatum. Claxton's got to get back. It's a 5-on-4. Tatum drives it in. Layup. Kick out. Hauser three. It's good. And that's the byproduct of a 5-on-4, ladies and gents. Hauser has missed a fuck ton of shots. 2 of 10 the Celtics are in the quarter. The problem is the Nets are 1 of 7. Thomas, high screen and switch. He's got Tatum on him now. 6 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Off balance. It's a foul. And the Nets can retake the lead with 2 makes at the line by CT. And we haven't been to the line in a long while. The Nets regroup. They're in a little team huddle now. And Hauser goes to the bench. I don't know who in place of. Or was he going to the bench? I don't know. Oh my. CT misses free throw 1. It is 92-91. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're back for more Nets basketball tomorrow. If it's anything like this, then I'm excited for it. Thomas makes one of two. So that makes things a little bit more complicated, doesn't it? 100 seconds to play. The Nets have led basically all game, but they're not in the position to do that right now. It's a Tatum 3. It's so short, and the rebound is secured by Schroeder. 90 seconds now. At the logo, they're going to call out a play. Schroeder's guarded by Pritchard. Johnson will 1-2 it with Schroeder. Thomas is sitting in the corner. High screen. Drive. Oh my God. How has he missed that? It bobbles out. The little scoop shot. The Celtics. The pass is knocked away. They were looking for Pritchard in the corner, but I think it was Finney-Smith who deflected that out of bounds. How has he missed that? I tell you what, mate, the rim at that end is in full support of the tank because there's been a number of layups that have bobbled out in this late game. Tatum up top. Thomas tightly guarding. Top of the key. We double. Finney-Smith, get it out! Let's go! Dorian Finney-Smith with the read. It went off Pritchard into the backcourt, and he couldn't chase it up. Well done by Doe. The little blitz. 47 seconds. We have been dog shit from the field in this last quarter, but so have they. A couple of good offensive possessions away from the most unlikely of wins. Thomas. 40 seconds to go. Drive. Layup. Oh my God, he missed. I cannot believe it. The amount, I thought that was a lob for Claxton. Clax mistimed it because, well, I don't think he thought it was going off the rim. 33 seconds left. It is tied at 92. This is an old-fashioned game where no one can make shots. It's strictly defense. But that is the Nets brand this season. It's all defense. OT? I don't know. Jesus Christ. What is this? I mean, I'll tell you what a game to return to. What a game to return to. I don't care if we win or lose this. This has been a fucking valiant effort. Both teams in the last quarter, I think it was 78-76 at three-quarter time. So it's been a 16 to 14 point last quarter. It has been rubbish offense. No team can buy a bucket. It seems like there's a lid on both rims, but it's time for one of these players on either side to make a name for themselves. We did execute the 2-for-1 nicely in the sense that the time management is there, but the Celtics, they're one quick shot away from making it a 2-for-1 of their own. So the Nets are going to run the group that they ran to start the game. Let's have a look at the Thomas floater again. Got it up. Oh, fuck. If he lobbed it up to Claxton, it's an open jam. And that would be an optimal place to be in at 94-92, but we're not there. And instead, 33.7 a play. 11-second difference between shot and game. They're going to get it in. Oh, what a play. Oh! He's absolutely murdered Claxton. Put that on a highlight tape. It'll be on SportsCenter tonight. 7-second difference between shot and game. We've got to score. Here's Thomas. Is he going to put up a three? Johnson's open. He's open. Hit the shot. Oh, no. We got the board. Oh, it's a foul. It's a foul. Oh, my goodness. We're in the bonus. We were in the bonus at 7.5 minutes. Johnson had a wide open look, and much like last year, he cannot buy a 3 in the last 2 minutes when the game's on the line, but he got fouled, and he's going to the free throw line. The pressure is through the roof. He's taken 1 free throw tonight. He's an 83% free throw shooter in his career. It's good on the first. Boston are going to have a chance to win the game with 7.5 seconds left. They've got 1 timeout remaining. Boston. They've brought Johnson in the case Boston don't call a timeout, which is very smart play by Geordie, because Johnson is the better defender. Debatably. Alrighty. 7.5 on the clock. Johnson. 1 free throw to make. And he makes it. It is a tied game, and we go down to this. 1 possession away. 1 defensive stop away from this going into overtime. However, this has heartbreak written all over it. Boston have hit game winners on us in the past. However, they have not hit shots at a great percentage today. Let me set the scene for you. 7.6 seconds left. It is a tied game. Boston are 13 of 49 from deep. I don't have the percentage on that, but it's not good. The Nets have taken 9 extra shots to make 1 extra. They've had a lot of chances to seal the deal, but they haven't. And now Boston can put this game to bed. Tatum's got 31. You'd think the ball goes into his hands. Whilst for the Nets, 29 to Thomas and 18 to Johnson. But Johnson had the chance to give the Nets the lead. Here we go. 7.6. 94 apiece. Let's have a look. We've got the group of Schroeder, Johnson, squared, Finney-Smith, and Claxton on the court. For Boston, Tatum is out there. That's a given. Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. This could be a deep tray from him. And they're also going with Al Horford. I don't know who you'd rather shoot the ball. They're all threats. Here we go. White's inbounding. It's straight to Tatum, and they had a foul to give. So they've taken a good 1.1 off the clock, and it's Finney-Smith who commits the foul. So Boston have no timeouts left. So if they can't get this ball in, we have 2 timeouts. We can do something with this, but we've got to deny it. CJ is guarding the inbounder, which is White. So they've got another play set up. Here we go. Ball inbounded to Tatum. At the logo, 1-on-1. He takes on Finney-Smith. Step back 3. Oh my God. Yes! Great D-Do! Come on! OT! We've got extra free basketball, baby! And this is what happens when I miss out for 9 games. What? Oh my God. We got a technical fucking assessed against us because Keon Johnson threw the ball after the game was over. What are you doing, bruz? That's so dumb. What is that? So this has to be the first time in history that there's been a technical assessed after regulation like this. That's so unheard of. It's such a stupid technical, bruv. Regardless, it's 94 apiece. As I said, this OT game is to make up for the fact that I missed the first 9 games. They were like, mate, you are not getting off scot-free. You missed 9 games. You're not a loyal Nets fan. So we're going to give you some extra basketball to make it up. And I'll say, all right, well, let's do it then. Let me just fix up the quarters. So Boston was 76, I think. Yeah. So it was an 18 to 16 point last quarter. That was some tough watching. But here we are to do overtime basketball. Alrighty. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We're back here tomorrow to do this all over again. So if you're enjoying the way this has gone, the way I call the game, the way the layout is set, go ahead. We are never good in OTs. Celtics are going to win. I have no idea what this... Look, this team has surprised me. So maybe they'll surprise us again here. I've got no idea what this last quarter or this overtime period is going to dish up. But, alrighty. So, Boston are just going to get a potential 1-point advantage to start the quarter, which I highly doubt has ever happened. And he's bricked it. So, it doesn't matter. Alrighty. So, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a tied game to start. And that's also got to be a first. Surely that's never happened. So a jump ball between Cater and Claxton. So here we go. What the fuck was Claxton doing there? He didn't even, like, stick an arm up in the jump ball. That's so strange. Anyway, Boston are going to get into a set here, and it's Tatum looking for a lob to Holiday, who's in the dunker spot, and he just flips up a two-pointer in the most nonchalant fashion. So the Nets, as you know, have played one overtime game this year. It was against Denver. The offense ran dry, and Denver won that game. Finney-Smith to Schroeder. Offense has not been our thing today, so this is going to be interesting. Schroeder lost the ball, got it back, had to chase it up. He accelerates to the rim and scores for two. 96 apiece. And Mazzulla was very animated on the sidelines. I don't know what he was upset for. Maybe something I missed. Tatum looking for a pass. It was knocked away, and Schroeder gets the steal. Pass to Finney-Smith. Oh my God. Schroeder's been pinged for a travel. Let's have a look. So Finney-Smith, great defense again. Schroeder gets the ball. Can we please see the actual replay? They didn't actually show whether his foot moved or not. Celtics will reload here. Tatum in a one-on-one. He's doubled. Pritchard, deep three over Johnson. It brims out, but Thomas was trying to rebound. They wanted to travel there. Oh, goodness gracious. Pritchard the drive down the middle. He's got Johnson on him. He backs him down, but you're not going to move him. Pritchard scores anyway. 3:24 on the clock. 98-96. That is a tough one for the Nets, because they defended that pretty well. Schroeder drives on Cater. Lob. Ah! Gets out. He had to collect that from the stars. And Claxton threw it down. Nets have not missed in OT thus far. Tatum the drive. Claxton is there. Tatum picks up his dribble. Claxton with the block. What? How? What happened there? Claxton. I just love his antics whenever he gets pissed off. It's pretty funny. Let's have a look at what this foul was for. What? Where's the foul at? Where is the foul at? I honestly would have challenged that, because that was the most phantom foul I've ever seen in my life. I didn't even see Thomas touch him. I would have almost challenged that. Because they still have that challenge in the bank. So do Boston. All right. So Pritchard at the free throw line here. 2:45 to play in the game. Also, we may think there could be another overtime period on the way. So 99-98. And one free throw here awaits. Well, Pritchard's got a little bit of bleeding going on here. So there'll be a stoppage. The Nets can actually draw up a play without having to exhaust a timeout. And for Boston, well, it may actually hinder Pritchard's ability to make this free throw. Maybe the momentum goes out the window. You just don't know. 2:45 to play, though. Thomas is the high man for the Nets. Tatum is the high man for the Celtics. Pretty obvious leaders in the scoring column. But it hasn't been scoring that's won the game today. It's been hustle, defense, grit, desire. All those intangibles. So we're getting one more free throw here from Pritchard at the line. No changes. Because he can't make changes. Pritchard makes both, so he was not bothered by that little break. 2:43 to play here in this overtime period. It's Schroeder. Claxton now. Handoff to Finney-Smith. Thomas will come and collect. One-on-one with Horford. He's going to dance. He's going to put one up with the right hand and tie the game at 100. Love that. And now you got to do what you've done all day. Get a damn stop. 2 minutes, just a little bit over to play. Pritchard, guarded by Thomas. High screen and switch. Tatum now is guarded by Thomas. What the fuck? We are so close every single time to getting steals. It was a very loopy pass to Tatum, but Thomas held him. And it's going to be the Celtics from the side. They'll get it straight into Pritchard. And they're going to look for that switch again that has Tatum guarded by Thomas. Here it is right now. One-on-one. Finney-Smith comes over to help. Open look for Horford in the corner. That's his spot and he hits. He hits the three. It's back up to 3. That is the margin. That is the difference. 2 minutes to play. Schroeder. Are we going to go for a 2 or a 3? You don't need to go for a 3. Finney-Smith. Give and go. With Schroeder, he's got the 2. Love that. Attack the basket. I don't think they were expecting that because it was pretty wide open. And it looks like they'll play through Tatum again. This time, Johnson is on Tatum at the start of the possession. So it's going to alter how we blitz Tatum. Here he is now. Johnson's going to come over to help. Turnaround 2 by Tatum is tough. In the eye of the defense. And we didn't have too much help there. You couldn't really help one pass away. Finney-Smith is open. He's got to hit this. It's off. And we are now... Well, we're staring down the barrel. If we don't get a stop here, I think this is it. Tatum on an island with Thomas. The double arrives. Holiday to the corner for Pritchard. It's a pump fake. Forced into a pass. We did well, but Tatum's open. Why on earth is he open? It's off the board. And the Nets have got to go for this 2 for 1. We've got 40 seconds to play. 2 for 1. Johnson. He stumbled. He would have had an open 3 otherwise. Picks up his dribble. Finney-Smith, he's got it. Open look. We called a timeout though. Oh my goodness. And how am I at 14 seconds, bro? We're all the way back at 31. It begs the question. So we've called a timeout, and that is undisputably the right call. But what are we going for here? A 2 or a 3? A 3 would tie the game. And it would have to be a quick trigger, but obviously you risk the miss. If you want to go more high percentage, you're looking at a 2. I would look for a drive and kick opportunity, because if you can do that in 3 or 4 seconds, Boston cannot play it out. You don't need to foul the rest of the way. And you got to back your defense in to get a stop and then potentially steal it in the final 5 seconds. But we're not particularly well placed. I will say that. So 102, 105, these Nets have played valiantly. It's a shame we put up a dog shit last quarter in terms of points. If we go on to lose this game, it is the perfect tanking game. But if we go on to win this game, it just feels good because, well, Boston have had our number for years. Pretty much since we swept him in the first round. Like 3 or 4 years ago. So the equation is this. It's 31, or there are 31 seconds to play. The Nets are down 3. We've got 8 seconds on the clock to get a shot up. But obviously you'd want to do that maybe after 3 or 4 seconds, because then the 2-for-1 is executed. But of course, the 2-for-1's no good if you can't make the shot. So we need to ensure we don't come up empty, especially given we've just exhausted a timeout. It'll be Thomas triggering in. So an interesting look. Given your best scorer isn't on the court, we get it into Claxton. Thomas is going to want it, and he gets it. We've got 4 to shoot. Oh my God, it's going to be an ISO ball 3. Oh my God, that is shocking. That was the most predictable thing of all time. Just a Thomas ISO on Tatum. It was great defense. Thomas didn't lose him. And Boston, well, they've just got to get the ball in. And they've got a couple of timeouts as well to exhaust if they can't do it the first time. Just the most contested 3 of all time. We're going to try trap him first, I think. But, oh, we nearly got a steal. Just foul him. Foul him, foul him, foul him, foul him, foul him. We let a lot of time go off. 14.8 left in the game. And, well, it's going to take something pretty special from here. I'm assuming we're going to go with I'm assuming we're going to call a timeout after these free throws. Actually, that was the foul to give. So they've got to get it in again. 15 seconds, but they're going to use the full court. Tatum is in the back court. White will inbound. Pritchard is the inbounder. Foul him! What are you doing? Fuck. 11.2 to play. So they chewed off almost half the clock with those 2 fouls. It's probably a shame that we had a foul to give. That that timeout was so predictable though. Thomas off the inbound, you just knew he was going to get it back, but you know, there was only one way he could go because he was boxed in the corner. It was pretty easy to anticipate. So Horford's going to go to the bench, and there's 11 seconds to play in the game. Pritchard just scored the first, so you would assume that that is probably going to put this game beyond question, but we'll see. Second free throw is good, and we're going to call a timeout. So this is do or die. This is all or nothing. This is championship or bust type stuff here. If we do not score off this next bucket, we're absolute Dunsky. So this has been a pretty damn good performance, though. I'll take a lot away from this. Great performance by the Nets. We'll do the full post game and then we'll call it a day. Let's have a look. The tank is back on. How many games have we lost in a row in overtime? We will never get anywhere if we can't win in overtime. This is what they call the perfect tanking game. You lose, your record gets worse, but you did everything right. Almost. You didn't win the game, but you did everything you needed to win the game. Boston didn't shoot the 3 well. Haven't shot the 3 well. we led basically the whole game. And there was a crap ton of grit shown throughout this performance from a number of players in the starting five and on the bench. And the good thing is, even with this overtime period, Claxton and Finney-Smith have not played many minutes, which is going to be very important because tomorrow Ben is not playing. So those few minutes they haven't played tonight will probably come in clutch tomorrow when we play the Cavaliers. Let's see what we do with this possession. Thomas is going to get it. He does, and that is a very quick foul with 10.6 to play. And I'm assuming they had a foul to give, so that's taken one off the clock. And they had to do that quickly because Thomas is... He's got his eyes on one thing, and that is the basket right now. Let's see what the play is. Oh, good. Good set play. We took 1 second off the clock, and now we've got a... Well... What the fuck, man? Oh, my God. You know what? I don't mind that, actually. We went for the steal because you got no timeouts left. So, really, it's an all-or-nothing type thing. It's like, well, if we don't get the steal, well, then boo-hoo. We're going to have the same result. But if we get the steal, we have a chance to send this to another OT period. But regardless... Great performance by the lads. White will shoot 2-3 free throws. We don't have any timeouts remaining, so this is going to be... Well, this one's probably going to be done barring an absolute miracle. We're talking a miss and then a foul on a 3 that's chucked up from half court, and they make it. Well, it's off. Here we go. Foul him. It's going to go in, isn't it? Nope. That's going to do it. 108-104. The first stream of the 2024-25 campaign for me, and it was a bloody eventful one. The game ends at 108-104. The Nets lose their second overtime game of the season against, well, an NBA finalist. The Celtics did not play well today. They were shorthanded. We had quite a few opportunities to win the game because, well, there were a lot of bad misses within maybe 10 feet of the basket, but it just seemed like there was a lid on that rim. This was a great performance, though. The result probably does the game justice. We didn't deserve to win, I don't think, because that 16-point last quarter was pretty fireable, but Boston were far off their best today. And if we look at the post-game stats, it'll tell a very similar story. That's if the thing updates. Why the fuck is it not updated? Bear with us, guys. Yeah, why is that not updated? Here we go. This is all we need to know. This is the final outcome of the game. Thomas ends with 31. Shooting the ball pretty well. 50% from the field again on high volume and 4 threes made. Schroeder had a better second half. He had 4 points in the first half and he ends with 20, but not on a great efficiency. Cam Johnson, pretty good. He had the chance to give the Nets the lead, but he tied the game to send this one into OT. And as we said, right, Finney-Smith and Claxton... These two played maybe the last 13 minutes of the game. They played the last 6 minutes of regulation, and they played the entire overtime period, but both of these players have barely clocked 30 minutes. In Claxton's case, he hasn't. So these guys are going to be well-conditioned to play tomorrow, whilst Ben Simmons is out. But speaking of, he had a pretty good game today in 27 minutes. I feel like that's almost the best he's done in the whole season. He ends with 8 points, 8 dimes, 7 boards, some flashy assists at that as well. And Zaire Williams off the bench, 4 of 11 shooting isn't great, but the 9 points and 12 rebounds indicates a story in which it would indicate that he was hustling and he got a lot of offensive rebounds. So overall, you look at the shooting splits as well. We went 41 of 100. So not great shooting percentages, 10 of 38 from 3. Only the 12 turnovers in 4 quarters plus OT, which is a very good mark. We probably cost ourselves a few points in the middle portion of the third quarter. But Boston didn't shoot it nearly at a high rate. Voice crack. They shot 53 threes and made 14. So they took 15 more and made 4 more. So it wasn't a great shooting night by their standards. And the free throw number only ballooned because of, well, the late game situation of us needing to foul. So overall, we played a really good defensive game. We forced 13 turnovers. I feel like that dried up as the game wore on. It's very telling, though, that they scored 14 points in OT and they scored 18 points in the last quarter of regulation. So they got it a lot easier in the last quarter. Yes, the free throws ballooned it, but yeah. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that performance. We lose, which in some people's books would be a win. And at that point you say, well, you know, this is a W, but I wanted to win. It was right there. We had opportunities. I wanted to win. I think that's the main takeaway. No worries about the stream. I'm happy to be back. I enjoyed watching this game. It was good fun. We're playing seriously good basketball. 4-5 doesn't do our performances justice. I think that's a good thing, though. The fact that we've, that's where we are at. 4-5 is, well, for a team that wants to tank, that's pretty good for the way we've been playing. Anyway, the idea of Geordie looks like to create a defensive team. Yeah, defensive team effort. That's going to be the common theme. I feel like is going to run rife in our season. Win would have felt good, but a loss is more important. Yeah, I think that's the main key takeaway. I think that's going to be the common rhetoric from a lot of people. But we go into another game tomorrow with another new opponent that we haven't played yet this season, but very similar to a lot of opponents we have played so far. And that is the fact that a team that's, had sustained success, very good players, well coached, Kenny Atkinson. It's the reunion. The last time he was coaching was the Nets, or should I say head coaching. So yeah, overall, that's going to be it. But I mean, I tell you what, as I said, great game. Just a couple breakdowns real quick. Fast break points, they had more, and that showed. Points in the paint, we won out. Bench points, very similar. And I think this is the big one here. Points off turnovers. 20-7 Boston's way. Unless I'm tripping. Apparently we had 12 turnovers. That probably makes sense. But the point is, we did not put them to the sword nearly enough. Couple moments like late in the game when we got a steal, I think it was early in overtime, and Schroeder traveled. Like when we were on the break. That would have been so important. So important. And that's probably where you see the difference in fast break points as well. Yeah. But let me know what your post-game thoughts are. Really quick. As I said, I'm really stoked with the way we played there. That was a pretty valiant showing. I'll stay a little bit longer just purely because I haven't been here for 9 games. So if there's anything you want to say, let us know. And also drop a like on the way out if you are leaving, because that would be much appreciated. We've got a big game though tomorrow. The Cavaliers, they're no joke. No joke. I don't know if they're playing today, actually. Cavaliers, no, it looks like they're going to be... Oh, they did play, and they... Where are they? They absolutely smacked the Warriors. So we're playing a team that's 10-0. I think that's actually historic. Like, they've never done that. Let's have a look. And you know what? They're going to be pretty refreshed as well because no one played over 31 minutes. This game must have been like game over very early because Garland's played 30, Donovan Mitchell's played 26, Allen's played 30, Mobley and Okoro have played 26. And so the rest, a few of them got run. Ty Jerome scored 20 off the bench, Garland scored 27, and Donovan Mitchell scored 12 on 13 shots, which means he's nailed on to score 35 tomorrow. Mark my words. Regardless, it's going to be a good battle. The way we've played this year, it's been a very, very good positive. Around the grounds, yeah, let's do a little check. Orlando smacked New Orleans, which I don't think is remotely surprising. The Pistons won by 1, so they actually, they responded to losing by 1 by winning by 1. I don't know if there was a game winner involved in that, but that would have been pretty funny. Charlotte knocked off Indiana by 20. Indy scored 83 points in the game. That is dire. Phoenix knocked off Dallas by 1. That would have been a cracking game to watch. The Knicks blew out Milwaukee, which is great for us because we have that Bucks pick. Unless it's in the top 4, which is going to be an issue. The Warriors conceded 136, and then of course you have our game. I'm so interested to see the Knicks. The Knicks. Bridges scored 17. I'm so ready to play McCall. Seriously, I think that's going to be a fun game. Cat got 32, Josh Hart got 11, OG got 14. I think last year, the big thing in those Knicks games that we played against him, the big problem with that was that it seemed like we got out-hustled in almost every game we played. Josh Hart was an absolute dog. But I feel like this year it's going to be a bit different. The way we've carried ourselves so far, I think that's going to be... It's going to be good fun to watch those games next week, which we'll also be doing. The Pelicans got 21 out of Alvarado, 26 out of Brandon Boston. Ingram scored 11. So, yeah. And Franz Wagner scored 27. Mo Wagner, 17 off the bench. The bros combine. Oh, and we also have a few other games going on right now. OKC smacking up Houston. Memphis are killing Washington. I'm still bewildered. I swear Memphis aren't that good, and we've beaten them twice. And Memphis are playing well. And Jaren Jackson scored 39 points. Goodness me. And then Denver are beating Miami, Minnesota beating Portland. Not too many surprises. And the Lakers are playing Philly, who are incredibly short-handed. And they are they're bottom of the table, I think. So if the Lakers don't win this, they are in, well, it's pretty pathetic. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here, I think. That'll do it for me. Oh, wow, what a game. What a game. And the voice crack just went off again. That is my signal to leave. Hope you enjoyed. Show your support on the way out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.